All right. We're back. We're large. We're in charge. We're ready to roll. And we're ready to react to whatever we can. Let's go to the vertical with the other screen. Okay, so we're going to react to a little Asman. As you know, we all love Asman Gold on this channel. Total stud. Total beast. Total sex symbol, of course. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Going out tonight. Go. All right, let's watch and listen.
With the American people last night.
Well, I'm not a big fan of Caroline Leavitt, by the way. I think she's kind of... hold on. Screwy, but my boy Ty Lord is on the screen. My boy Ty Lord. Sexy stud. Give me one moment. Man, I feel like a woman. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're doing a couple things real quick. We're gooning. No, we're not gooning. You guys are gooning. I'm not gooning. You guys are the gooners. I am not gooning. Jarvis, I'm not gooning today. Not tonight. Just to let you know. But I want to thank everybody for tapping the like button. We got my boy Ty Lord in the house being sexy. As always, when's Ty Lord not being sexy? But we're doing a couple things here. Hold on. Tap like and gift. All right, we're starting a poll. All right, let's do it. Let's watch some Asman Gould. I love Asman, dude. Asman's the man. We all love Asman, I'm pretty sure. My boy Ty Lord says he cannot turn it off. I am the greatest free entertainment anybody can ever ask for. I should say the gayest free entertainment that anybody can ask for, not the greatest. But Tim Smith says, love it or leave it. Caroline is spanking Iran. She's telling them that Iran is a bad boy. We got Ty Lord. Ty Lord's just as excited about my boy Tim being here too. We got Tim. We got Ty Lord. We got so many sexy symbols in the chat right now. So many sex symbols right now. So many very important people. Very sexy people. Let's do this, dude. Let's do this. I got my bussy.
The United States military is making tremendous strides towards achieving our military objectives for Operation Epic Fury.
Yeah, Operation Epic Fury, baby.
It's been 10 days already.
Thus far, and America's warriors
this is exciting,
are winning
bro.
This important
this
fight
is exciting,
at an even
dude.
faster pace than we anticipated.
Great.
More than 5,000 enemy targets have been struck so far.
That's a lot of targets.
Iran's ballistic missile attacks
Get 'em
are
out, get 'em
down
out.
more than 90%, and their drone attacks are down by approximately 85% since the start of Operation Epic
We got a lot of good people in here.
United States.
We got a lot of good, sexy people in the chat. Let's keep it going. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, though. The more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow. Let's keep going.
Also annihilating the Iranian regime's navy. And we have destroyed more than 50 Iranian naval vessels.
You said 51.
Including a major
I thought they were
drone
out of
carrier
ships.
ship. None of the regime's vessels are operating in major regional waterways.
I think that they destroyed a grand total of 51, I think, so far. I think that's probably the entire Iranian Navy. That's what I'm thinking, man. That's what I'm getting, man. At least that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I could be wrong. Let's keep watching.
And the Iranian Navy has been assessed as combat ineffective.
Oh, so it's
the
deleted?
trend is clear. U.S. combat capabilities are increasing and growing more lethal and dominant by the day, while the Iranian terrorist regime's ability to respond has rapidly declined. Now, the U.S. military is moving to dismantle Iran's missile production infrastructure. Our incredible B-2 bombers recently dropped dozens of 2,000-pound penetrator bombs.
Those 2,000-pound bombs, though, by the way, that sounds intimidating as fuck, just to let everybody know. That sounds increasingly intimidating, and holy crap.
Buried missile sites.
Wow.
Last night, President Trump reiterated his commitment toward keeping oil flowing through the Strait of Hormuz.
Insane. Let's keep going.
That's right.
So the United States and all of our allies can receive their energy needs.
Wow.
President Trump will not allow rogue Iranian terrorists to stop the freedom of navigation and the free flow of energy.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Let me be clear. It is a good thing to wipe out terrorists who indiscriminately
target. Asman, dude, I love Asman, man. I think here's the thing. I'm excited about this because there's finally going to be stability in the Middle East. Iran has been a piece of garbage for a long time, and you know what? This needed to happen. This straight up needed to happen. People can disagree with it all they want. That's fine. I'm not the biggest fan of war either, just to let everybody know. But I'm not necessarily against this, man. Aaron Russell, my biggest supporters here. Aaron Russell loves this channel, dude. Aaron Russell is a firm supporter of this channel, dude. I love Aaron Russell. Tim Smith says, last time I heard the term Epic Fury, report of the week was hospitalized from a ghost pepper stuffed crust. By the way, to anybody who has never watched, if you've never watched my home dog report of the week, do so now. The kid is great at food. It's all he does is food reviews. It's like I think he does like a weekly food review, and it's beautiful, man. I love report of the week though. Incredible channel. Aaron, random guy on YouTube, my boy Ty Lord says Aaron is Brad. Maybe Aaron Russell has been Brad Lacken this entire time, and that would be incredible if Aaron Russell's Brad Lacken. First off, it'd make me feel really good. But here's the thing, though. I think Aaron Russell spells too well. He's too good at spelling to be Brad Lacken. Unless Brad Lacken account intentionally misspelled everything and acted like an idiot. It's possible that Brad Lacken was a burner account for Aaron Russell. I'm starting to wonder. The conspiracy theories are flying right now, bro. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, though, and tap the like button, though. The more likes we get, the better. It really does help the channel grow, so I do appreciate you guys tapping the like button, tapping the subscribe button. Let's keep going.
Target civilians and attempt to hold the global economy hostage. And President Trump should be commended
Cuba's
for doing
next?
so.
Oh, Cuba's
it's
already over.
Unequivocally clear to the remaining
At this
elements
point,
of this terrorist
it's already
regime
over.
in his statement yesterday. If they do anything to stop the flow of oil or goods within the Strait of Hormuz, they will be hit by the world's most powerful military 20 times harder than they have been hit thus far.
So they're just going to get deleted.
The stated objectives for Operation Epic Fury remain the same. Destroy the terrorist regime's ballistic missiles, raise their Iranian missile industry to the ground, ensure their terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region, and ensure that Iran never obtains a nuclear weapon. President Trump remains confident these goals will be accomplished in swift fashion.
It's like a purge?
As for the oil,
it's like a purge.
President Trump fully expected the rogue Iranian regime to try and disrupt the global markets. That's why President Trump and his energy team have been planning for this long before the strike and have moved quickly to address these temporary disruptions. Thus far, the Trump administration...
Hey, just a quick shout out, though. We're at 8,726 subscribers. Once again, we're at 8,726 subs. So if you guys can, please tap the subscribe button. It does help the channel grow. We're trying to reach 8,800 by the end of the night. Preferably, I would love it if we got to 8,888 by the end of the night, but I think we're probably going to get to 8,800 by the end of the night. So make sure you guys tap the subscribe button. It really does help the channel grow. It's in the upper right-hand corner, so let's keep on rolling, baby. You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
Political risk insurance to tankers operating in the Gulf.
Oh, I saw that.
The Treasury
Limp Biscuit, baby.
Temporarily waived certain oil-related sanctions, and the commander-in-chief has offered the U.S. Navy to escort tankers when necessary.
So here's the thing, Ty Lord. I think Brad actually... So Brad was an older man and he had high blood pressure already. The theory is... my boy Miso Turtle Soup let me know that there is a possibility that Brad may have passed away. Unfortunately, he was a very bitter old man. It's also possible that Brad may have hated my show so fucking much that he decided just to stop watching my show because it was probably bad for his health. And honestly, if it was bad for Brad Latkin's health, man, I want Brad Latkin to stay away from this channel. Only for his own health. I actually enjoyed Brad Latkin. He was funny as shit, dude. The fadey head rolls. I mean, he couldn't spell worth a damn. But either way, we do miss our Brad Latkin. If he ever does decide to come back to the channel, it would be hilarious. But who knows? We don't know if Brad will ever be back. Brad. We do miss Brad. So Brad, if you're out there, if you're hearing this, we do miss you, but we do understand if you got to stay away from the channel. I get it, bro. Sometimes, look, I'm not good for everybody's health. Yeah, Brad was actually an older gentleman who was just really hateful. But hey, that's okay, though. It's okay. Some people are just older and bitter, and that's just who they are. Not up to me to change them. I don't want to change them. But hey, thank you guys for subscribing. We're now at 8,728 subs. Once again, we're at 8,728 subscribers. Make sure you tap the subscribe button to help the channel grow. Let's keep going, man.
That's nice.
The president and his energy team are closely watching the markets, speaking with industry leaders, and the U.S. military is drawing up additional options following the president's directive to continue keeping the Strait of Hormuz open.
Well, yeah.
I will not broadcast what those options look like, but just know the president is not afraid to use them. Rest assured to the American
nuclear
people,
bomb.
The recent increase in oil and gas prices is temporary, and this operation will result in lower gas prices.
Has gas gone up for you guys?
Term. Once the national
gas did go up a little bit for me, so it was like $4.05. So it's already been $4.05 in Oregon for a while, like at least in Coos Bay, North Bend, but it went up to $4.25. And when it went to $4.25, I thought, I'm at half a tank. I better fill up just to be on the safe side, just to see how high oil prices are going to get. I don't really know how high they're going to get ultimately, but we'll see, man. We shall see. I'm going to be very cautious. Probably not drive around as much, but yeah, I might drive around a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, make sure you guys tap the subscribe button, though, in the upper right-hand corner. It really does help the channel grow. So please subscribe. Please tap the like button. Please gift if you guys can. The gifts really help the channel in a lot of ways. It helps keep the lights on for the channel. So any gifts, any super chats, we greatly appreciate it. It does help the channel grow. And let's keep going.
As it or not,
the objectives of Operation Epic Fury are fully achieved. Americans will see oil and gas prices drop rapidly, potentially even lower than they were prior to the start of the operation. And we will live in a world where Iran can no longer threaten the United States or our allies with a nuclear bomb.
That'd be good.
On another matter here at home, President Trump is urging Congress to pass the Save America Act, one of the most critical pieces of legislation.
By the way, the Save America Act sounds fucking cool because it requires like voter ID and shit. It requires a lot of stuff that needed to be done. So I'm on top of it, bro. Save America Act, dude. I'm totally on. I'm on board, dude. Fully on. No, seriously, I'm not even kidding. I sound a little sarcastic naturally, but no, voter ID is absolutely necessary, in my opinion. And to anybody who says it's like racist or whatever, you're an idiot. I think you're dumb, dude. Oh, there we go. Let's keep going, man.
Our nation's
make sure you guys double tap the screen to like the stream once again. Double tap the screen to like the stream, but don't tap it with your tip. Do not tap it with your tip. Got it? Do not tap it with your tip. Double tap the screen to like the stream, okay? I am woke.
Wow.
I'm not woke.
The Save America Act is overwhelmingly popular with all Americans because each provision is rooted 30
in
cents.
Common sense. I don't even really check for gas a lot. The Save America
Act has 5 simple requirements as requested.
I mean, if gas goes up, it goes up. Look, this is going to be temporary. I think that ultimately this is good for the Middle East. in Iran, and a weak Iran is a good Iran. A weak Iran is a good Iran. Because they kept sponsoring, their state, their country was sponsoring terrorism and making things worse for everybody else around them. So honestly, I think a lot of the Gulf countries are very happy with what the U.S. is doing. I think they're happy, man. Yeah, Iran is a nation of you-know-what, of S.
By the President of the United States.
I don't know about gas prices. Work my ass off, not be poor.
Voters have to show ID to cast a ballot in an American election.
I still usually try
to
pay attention.
90% of Americans, including more than 80% of Democrat voters.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I don't like it when energy prices go up either. But when energy prices go up, they go up, man. It's just a fact of life. From time to time, things happen. Look, I'm not a big fan of this war, and I do hope it stops as soon as possible. But we shall see. We shall see.
Agree with this. Number 2, the Save America Act will require all voters to show proof of citizenship in order to register to vote.
Imagine
not
wanting
I love the
show
proof of citizenship. I love,
like, how can you?
First off, I love the proof of citizenship concept. I think it's fucking brilliant in my mind. I really do. I think it's one of the most brilliant ideas they've come up with. Look, proof of citizenship is needed, so that way we don't have any people voting who shouldn't be. Because look, American elections should be for American citizens, straight up, completely. Carl Burrow. Carl's a dummy. Nah, it's fine. I'm not going to be too mean to Carl. But let's keep going, man. Let's keep going.
How can you be against that?
Only American citizens
so
have
retarded.
the right to vote in American elections.
I don't know how you
Joe
can even
Biden
get there.
And the Democrats allowed tens of millions of illegal aliens into our country. It's more important.
Yeah, Democrats are the ones to blame on this one for sure, for allowing so many illegal immigrants. I agree with that completely.
Than ever to ensure that only American citizens are registering to vote in our honor.
Also, double tap the screen to like the stream. Once again, double tap the screen to like the stream. It really does help the channel grow in a lot of ways. So you guys are really helping out in more ways than you can ever imagine just by simply tapping the like button. But yeah, double tap the screen to like the stream. Let's go.
Nation's voter rolls in Congress.
You have to be a cheater. Yeah.
Number 3. The Save America Act abolishes the incredibly unsecure practice of universal mail-in ballots, which throw the door wide open.
Yeah, dude, universal mail-in ballots are terrible.
For fraud.
Yeah.
Importantly, the Save America Act,
dude, it creates so many gateways to fraud. It's not even funny, man.
Maintains exceptions.
Yep, our boy Odin is here, dude. I honestly think that Ty Lord comes onto this chat specifically to see what Odin is gonna say. I think that Ty Lord specifically comes onto the chat to get spiritual wisdom. I should say a spiritual lack of wisdom from our boy Odin. Thank you, Odin. I appreciate you, bro.
Options for Americans to use mail-in ballots, like
if
for
they're
illness,
sick or something,
disability,
yeah, that's fine.
military, or travel reasons.
Yeah.
The bipartisan 2005 report of the Commission on Federal Election Reform, chaired by, of all people, former President Jimmy Carter and former Secretary of State James Baker, concluded that, quote, absentee
ballots
the
U.S. doesn't have free and national ID or federal ID?
Fraud,
we
and
do.
it is time for Congress
it's just
to
done by
finally
each
address
state.
This. Number 4,
but they're
the Save America Act permanently bans men from...
Yeah, for instance, I have an ID here in Oregon, right? I'm fine. I'm good.
Competing in women's sports. President Trump signed a landmark executive order upholding the promise of Title IX and ending this dangerous and unfair practice.
Oh
but
my
now
God,
it's
this
time
is
for
a trans
Congress
genocide.
To codify this into law.
Oh my
Number
God.
5, the Save America Act bans...
God, I love Asmund, dude. His reactions are so funny, dude. He's so good. His sarcasm's like at another level, dude. The man's amazing. The man's a fucking amazing.
For children. Again, President Trump signed a common sense executive order to do this and kept his promise to the American people, but now Congress needs to do the same and codify
they obviously should do that.
It's well past time for Democrats in Congress to stop perpetuating the radical and false claim that you can somehow change a child's sex. You
can't? Damn. Damn. What the hell, dude?
It's sick. It's
Passing
totally
the Save America
sick.
Act is the most important thing that Republicans.
The fact that people play along with that
Democrats
bullshit is it's so dangerous.
Whoa, somebody's calling me out as a grifter. Cat2202 is saying that I'm a grifter, saying we're both grifters. How can you say that? It does feel kind of accurate though, so I'm not going to really argue with you too much on that one, Cat2202. But I gave you a little bit of, I gave you your five seconds in the sun, so let's keep going, man.
Democracy.
It's ridiculous.
It's what the American people elected Republicans to do, and they must deliver on it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
The president is calling on Congress to get the job done and send this historic piece of legislation to his desk immediately.
Some of them are. I don't know about all of them.
So with that today, I will take your questions. Benny, thank you for being here, and why don't you start us off?
Thank you, Caroline. So my first question is actually about the Save America Act. So one of the biggest things that the Democrats
Who wants me to ooh-woo, by the way?
Making is that
I want to ooh-woo so bad.
The Save America Act, it would prevent married women from voting in elections or make it harder for them. What do you have to say to those claims?
Oh my God.
How would it make, I still don't understand how it would make it harder for married women. Like if they're in between getting their last name changed, I guess, or something, that makes some sense. I don't know.
Validity to them, and where do you think they're getting this from?
There is zero validity to these claims, and I'm glad that you brought them up because you have the Democrats who have created this myth.
I mean,
that has been perpetuated, unfortunately,
it's not disenfranchising women?
Media. Let me be very clear. The Save America Act does not prohibit anyone from voting, with the exception
You guys, don't forget to tap the subscribe button, though, and don't forget to double tap the screen to like the stream. Once again, please tap the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 8,800 subscribers by the end of the stream. And if you guys double tap the screen, you get to like the stream. So that helps out a lot.
Of illegal aliens. And the greatest way to disenfranchise American citizens from voting in American elections is to allow illegal aliens
Let's go,
to vote,
dude.
I'm out,
Let's go, dude.
I don't know
Hell
about
yeah.
this one, guys.
Oh my God.
Democrat jurisdictions at the state and local level.
I'm not for it
across
anymore.
this country.
Yeah.
So the Save America Act corrects that. And as far as married women who have changed their name, if they're already registered to vote, they're entirely unaffected by the
Double
Save
tap
Act.
the screen to like the stream.
Who have changed their name
Double
or their
tap
address,
the
they can still
screen
register
to
vote.
like
Of
the
course, they
stream.
just have to
Let's
go
go,
through
dude.
their state processes to update that documentation. And this is something that the American people, married women, and minorities, and people all across this country who Democrats are insultingly saying cannot do this, they're already doing it every day, going to the Social Security office.
Yeah, they can't.
going to the
They
DMV,
can't
and I
use.
think
They
it's
can't go to the
frankly insulting
DMV.
that the Democrats
It's
are saying that
impossible.
Dude, I got so many pessimistic bots. I have so many pessimistic bots in my channel chat. I got Odin. I got Enjoy the Woods, I think might also be a pessimistic bot. It's all these nihilistic bots. Aaron Russell is a nihilistic bot. Odin. Yeah, I don't know. Carlsboro, I don't know what the hell's up with you, bro. Look, you guys are all a bunch of bots. I think everybody in this chat is a bot. I'm starting to suspect everyone except for Ty Lord, except for Tim Smith. Annie's not a bot. I feel like my entire chat is getting invaded by bots. That's my theory. Double tap the screen to like the stream. If you guys can, double tap the screen to like the stream. Thank you guys so much. I like my streams more than R. Kelly does. You think I'm AI generated? Probably. No. JK.
For a woman or a black person to go to figure out where the DMV is.
To allow them to vote.
The only person that can figure out where a DMV is a white man. Black people don't even know.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Let's keep watching.
What DMV is.
The funding issue has been 3+ weeks now.
I will admit, Democrats. What pisses me off about the Democrat Party is they think that black people are stupid. They think that minorities are stupid. That's my problem with Democrats. Is they even talk? They intentionally lower their vocabulary when talking to a minority. This is one of the reasons why I can't stand the white Karen. And I think the white Karen is evil. The white liberal Democrat Karen is evil as shit. because they talk down to minorities. They're awful. Look, the white Karen. I do agree with Asmund Gould when he says there are two people who are ruining society: incels and Karens. Incels and Karens are ruining the fabric of society. Just saying. Just fucking saying. Double tap the screen to like the stream. And also, if you can, subscribe to the channel, because it makes my pee-pee grow.
Actually, so I was at the airport this morning in St.
They don't even know
Louis,
what the word
Missouri,
is.
and it was early in the morning, and one of the TSA agents, I saw she was kind of
so true, brother.
And I asked her, I was like, what's wrong? And she was like, I can't make my phone payment. I can barely make my car payment that's coming up. I think a lot in the Beltway, there's so much noise between Democrats, Republicans. It's the Democrats' fault. It's the Republicans' fault.
Yeah.
Well, what is the White House's message to the American people that are struggling because they're not getting that paycheck?
It's the Democrats' fault. Tell them it's the Democrats' fault.
What do you have to say to those people?
What do you mean? What do you have to say? That are poor.
The Department of Homeland Security. He wants TSA, he wants FEMA, he wants the brave men and women of our United States Coast Guard to receive their paychecks, and he wants this department to be fully funded and fully reopened. And so
he's going to do what he can, man. But this is a Democrat problem because the Democrats don't seem to want to vote to ever fucking open the government these days because they want to make Trump look bad. They're more interested in making Trump look bad than actually making things happen. And this is why the Democrats failed. This is why the Democrats are not taken seriously. Nobody takes the Democrats seriously at all. Asmund was in the files? Asmund Gould? That makes me respect him even more. Just kidding.
To any American
don't
out
forget,
there
they don't have
who
these
is struggling
computers.
without a paycheck,
They don't even know what the
there's
word
more than
computer is.
100,000 of you across the country. To any American out there who is showing up to an airport and facing incredibly long wait times and lines, call your Democrat member of Congress and tell them to fund the Department of Homeland Security. That's what President Trump wants to do, and it's completely ridiculous that the American people are suffering as a result of these partisan games that are being played by Democrats on Capitol Hill. Thank you.
How's our audio bad? I think it's fine.
You said the operation was going faster than anticipated. What is your current timeline for how long?
You're not going to. He's not going to. Why would you ask
as you know,
that?
Steve, the president and the U.S.
Why would you waste our time with this?
Timeline was about 4 to 6 weeks to achieve the full objectives of Operation Epic Fury. Again, to destroy their missiles and their ability to make them, destroy their navy, permanently deny them nuclear weapons forever, and to, of course, weaken
the war's
their
going to be
evil
over
terrorist
in
proxies
7
in the
days from
region.
now.
We know that the U.S. military and our brave warfighters.
So Bam Adebayo got 83 points in a game tonight. Second most points of all time in an NBA game. That's insanity, by the way. I just wanted to let everybody know that. I know this has nothing to do with what's happening here. But as an NBA fan, the fact that Bam Adebayo just scored 83 points in a single game, that fucking blows my mind. That is a level of what the F?
Fighters are quickly and expeditiously executing these objectives well ahead of schedule, but ultimately the operations will end when the commander-in-chief determines the military.
Also, double tap the screen to like the stream. Once again, double tap your screen to like the stream. Do not tap it with your tip. Do not tap it with your tip.
The objectives have been met, fully realized, and that Iran is in a position of complete and unconditional surrender, whether they say it or not.
Does the president still want Iran's unconditional surrender?
Well, when President Trump says that Iran is in a place of unconditional surrender, he's not claiming the Iranian regime is going to come out and say that themselves. What the president means is that Iran's threats will no longer be backed by a ballistic missile arsenal that protects them from
It's just going to be a bunch of idiots talking shit.
I could make an empty threat, but if I have no actions to back it up, then it's an empty threat. And so President Trump will determine when Iran is in a place of unconditional surrender, when they
the full show unconditional surrender.
Credible and direct threat to the United States of America and our allies. Adriana.
Now let's keep watching.
Can you explain explain why the Energy Secretary posted and then appeared to have deleted a post on X saying that the U.S. Navy escorted an oil tanker through this...
Hey, don't forget to tap the subscribe button, though, in the upper right-hand corner. Once again, don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. We're a little bit of a smaller channel, ultimately. We're trying to get a little bit bigger on YouTube, so just the simple act of tapping the subscribe button really does help the channel grow in more ways than one. And I want to thank everybody for taking the time to tap the subscribe button, man. I appreciate you. Let's keep going. Let's keep rolling.
What?
Yes, I was made aware of this post. I haven't.
That was a fuck up, huh? Kind of messed up.
Directly. However, I know the post.
We're gonna be there for a long time.
Quickly, and I can confirm,
somebody said 15 years. We're gonna be in Iran for 15 years
at this time. Though, of course, that's a long time. Has said he will absolutely utilize if and when necessary at the appropriate.
Just
time.
the way it is.
That was posted erroneously.
20 years?
Could it be because of a staffer? What, I guess...
It's bullshit? Yeah.
Like
15 days?
I know you still have to consult, but just generally speaking...
Again, I would defer you to the Department of Energy to answer that question.
And if I could just follow up really quickly.
Sure.
In terms of oil sanctions, the president said that there would be some sanctions that would be lifted. Would those be on Venezuela, Russia?
What do you mean? Iran will be the 51st state? No, Cuba will be.
I know it's something that the Treasury Department and
it's going to be
the
Cuba.
President's energy team continue to discuss, and they will ultimately consult with the president before decisions are made. I don't have any announcements on new sanctions or the lifting of new sanctions for you today. Alex.
Thank you. Reuters has reported that about 150 U.S. service members have been injured so far.
That is a lot of people injured so far, but, thank goodness it sucks that anybody's had to die so far, but I'm hoping that the casualties can remain minimal. I really am, man. I hope the casualties can remain as minimal as possible because it's crazy. It's wild. I think the war is going to end pretty quickly, though. I really do. I think the war is going to end very, very quickly. I don't think it's going to last as long as some people are projecting it. Some people are saying, it's going to be another forever war. No, it's not. It's not. I just highly doubt that in a lot of ways, man. Oh, Odin, come on, man. Odin is such Odin 33356. Stop with your pessimistic bullshit, bro. Stop with the pessimism, man. We're done with it.
From that number and elaborate on that.
That's a lot.
I can't confirm the exact number. I know it's within that ballpark, but I would defer you to the Pentagon.
I'm surprised that many got injured, but
wounded or injured thus far.
Very few got killed.
And then secondly, if I can, I wanted to ask about...
when does Minnesota become a state again? We're going to send...
There was a briefing on the Capitol.
Minnesota will never become a state again. Minnesota is a failed state, I'll tell you that. That's what I believe. I believe Minnesota wholeheartedly is a failed state. Minnesota is just terrible. Nobody cares about Minnesota. I've got Minnesota fatigue up the wazoo. I've got Tim Walz fatigue. I've got Iran fatigue right now. If you guys have Iran fatigue just as much as I do, please subscribe to the channel. If you guys are tired of Iran, subscribe to the channel. I want this war to be done and over with.
Today, and some senators came out and said they were more convinced than ever that there would be U.S. boots on the ground. Senator Blumenthal said that. In fact,
they think that there's
your reaction to that.
Troops on the ground.
Any update on President Trump?
Why would they think that?
Look, I would say that Democrats on Capitol Hill are clearly being quite disingenuous. 3 years ago,
do you think gas prices will go even lower after the conflict?
Voted,
it depends on what happens.
Against the resolution condemning Iran as the world's leading state sponsor of terror. Yet now, with President Trump as commander-in-chief finally taking
if they stop being retarded, then they're going to go a lot lower, probably.
The commander-in-chief to do for many years to wipe out the threat of a rogue Iranian terrorist regime. Now, all of a sudden, Democrats are playing politics with this long-standing bipartisan policy of the United States.
Of course they are. That's what the Democrats do, man.
53 of them in the House recently.
That's exactly what the Democrats do. They play partisan politics 24/7.
Voted against the resolution.
I mean, don't get me wrong. So do the Republicans, but sometimes Democrats can be so partisan they can't see the forest from the trees. That's a problem. That is a big problem, man. They just want to do whatever. They just want to do the opposite of the Republicans. And look, Republicans have been guilty of doing similar things, I'll admit. but let's keep going, man.
Iran is the world's state sponsor.
Yeah, it's retarded.
So I wouldn't take Democrats
47-year low.
As for boots
Maybe.
on the ground, the president
I doubt
has
that.
talked
Is it
about this
inflation?
repeatedly. Wisely,
Yeah.
he does not rule options out as commander-in-chief. So again, I would hesitate to confirm anything that a Democrat on Capitol Hill says right now about the
Yeah, I don't trust the Democrats for shit.
president's thinking. Garrett.
John, you
She's
outlined
really
to
good.
Steve the military components of what would be involved in ending this war, but it seems like
Hey, thank you so much, Rid. Redcock. Redcock says 4390. I can't even say your name, dude. Redcock 4390. Thank you so much for the makeup brush for 6 jewels. I want to thank you. Redcock even gave me an uwu. 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 Thank you so much for the uwu, by the way. Thank you for the makeup brush, Redcock. I appreciate you, by the way. Anybody who wants to give a gift, I will socially recognize you and give you heart emojis on the camera. Heart emojis. Jarvis, can you please stop giving heart emojis on the camera, please? But yeah, thank you so much for the makeup brush for 6 jewels. I appreciate it. Redcock 4390. Make sure you guys check out my boy. But yeah, dude, I appreciate you, bro. Give me one moment. Oh, Redcock just sent a happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, happy poop, happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, happy poop, happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, happy poop, happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, happy poop, happy poop. Yum yum. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys can. Tap the subscribe button in the upper right hand corner. It does help the channel grow. We're currently at 8,732 subscribers. Once again, we're at 8,732 subs. We're trying to get to 8,800 subscribers by the end of the night. Hell yeah, dude. But thank you so much for the happy poop yum yum, Ridcock. I appreciate you, bro. Happy poop yum yum. Happy poop yum yum. Happy poop, happy poop, happy poop, yum yum. Thank you, bro. That's really good. Look at that. Okay, let's keep going, man. Let's party. Let's party, dude. Thank you for the gifts, you guys. I appreciate it.
Laugh out loud.
Oh, no. Nate Dogg just quoted one of the greatest Chuck. Actually, you know what? That just reminds me we got to do a detour. We got to do a quick detour. So, Nate Dogg, thank you for my boy Nate Dogg. I know him in real life. He's my buddy. He's my friend. Good man. He says, "You weren't chosen. You were called upon." And that's a famous line from
Thank you for subscribing
really
to the Michael
shitty
Garza
Chuck Norris
Show. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
Thank you so much, Akwi Azuka, for becoming a subscriber to the show. I'm going to put your name back on the board. Everybody give a round of applause to Akwi Azuka.
Thank you for subscribing to the Michael Garza Show. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
So I'm going to do something that nobody asked for. Chuck Norris. What the fuck was that movie called? Agent Recon. Here we go. So I'm going to play a trailer for you guys. I think I've done this before on this channel. You weren't chosen. You were called upon. Okay? And this is probably one of the greatest Chuck Norris movies of all time. And I think once you guys watch the trailer, you're going to think to yourselves, wow, this is such a great trailer. And then you're going to realize when you actually watch the movie that you're pissed off at the director for creating one of the worst fucking movies of all time. Let's begin.
Team Cobra has gone down.
Shit.
Checking for survivors. Reinforcements are on their way.
This movie is so fucking terrible.
All right, listen up.
Don't let the trailer fool you, by the way. You know what the irony of this? The trailer actually made this movie seem like it was going to be good. Nathan and I completely had the wool covered over our eyes. Nathan and I legitimately thought this was going to be a good movie. We were humbled, and we were just sad after watching it. But we're going to watch the trailer because the trailer makes the movie seem way better than it actually is.
The infecteds are...
And you think you're going to get like a ton of Chuck Norris in this movie, but you only get like maybe 10 minutes tops of Chuck Norris in this fucking movie.
Ruthless, strong, and they're smart. We were on a recon mission, killing infecteds. When we got redirected here, be an emergency. I want a ready op ASAP.
Yep.
Thought you could use the help.
Alistair? Yes, Jim. This
As good as a Chuck Norris film can be.
nearby base was running tests.
Where's Faction 13 now?
Captain Rupert hasn't responded in a week.
We gotta go now.
I will protect my team.
Then let's get started.
We need a team that knows how to work together.
A deadly mission. Earth needs a hero.
That's the plan.
I mean, I got to admit, towards the end of the movie, I mean, Chuck Norris does kind of kick ass. Because he's like, he has a machine gun in his hand. And like starts firing at everybody. And he's like an android or whatever. So he's not like... He's like an android that has Chuck Norris's personality and experiences all in his butthole. It's incredible.
Get him!
Oh, Jim, I got this.
Agent Recon. Dude, honestly, shitty movie. Shitty frickin' movie. But let's keep watching. When I saw Nathan put the "You were not chosen, you were called upon," I was like, "Yeah, we're putting that up on the board. We're putting that trailer up on the board because that is a heaping pile of shit." Frog Eat Frog, my home frog. You just missed one of the greatest trailers of all time. Agent fucking Recon, by the way. Do yourself a favor and never watch the movie. But if you do want to torture yourself, yeah, watch the movie, please.
I think there's a political component too. The president said to Fox earlier today that he doesn't believe the new Ayatollah can live in peace. He made a variety of comments suggesting that he should be involved in.
Oh. Nate Dogg just sent a happy poop yum yum. Happy poop yum yum. Happy poop yum yum. Happy poop, happy poop, happy poop yum yum. Happy poop yum yum. I got a happy poop yum yum. Oh yeah. It's gonna make me calm.
Picking the new Iranian leader.
Yeah. Is
the ending of this war also contingent on Iran selecting a leader that the president finds acceptable? And if so, how is that not the definition
If he doesn't meet with Trump's approval, it's not worth it, bro.
of a regime change war?
Well, that's
Look,
a good question.
as President Trump
That's a very
has
good question.
Blatantly and frankly stated, it's obviously within the best interest of the
Mm-hmm.
United States and the West to no longer have a radical terrorist in charge.
Wait, what? I
of
thought we
Iran,
loved terrorism.
especially as
Make sure you guys double tap the screen to like the stream. Once again, double tap the screen to like the stream and tap the subscribe button in the upper right hand corner. It does help the channel grow. The more subscribers we get, the better. So don't forget to tap that subscribe button in that upper right hand corner. Let's go, baby.
we see their reaction
what do you mean?
To Operation Epic Fury. They had their missiles turned towards our Gulf and Arab partners in the region. Again, this was a regime that chanted, or still chants, death to America.
That's not a good
one. The way
one.
that they are holding the entire world hostage with the restricting of the free flow of energy through the Strait of Hormuz. So the president, I think, is making quite an obvious comment. Again, as for the timeline of the military operations with respect to Iran, we have objectives that we have
Bad
laid
chant.
out. That the
Yeah, shouldn't have said
commander-in-chief
that.
wants to see achieved.
Definitely
When they
a bad
are
thing to
achieved,
say.
then it will ultimately be
That
up
death
the
to
president
America
end
thing
this
is a
operation.
huge,
Okay, so
it's a huge non-starter.
You're not exactly addressing my question, though. Is that political objective
What? Well, I don't know. What was this question again?
also necessary for the president to decide to end this war?
It depends.
Again, I just told you the objectives of Operation Epic Fury. When those objectives are met, the president will dictate the end of these operations when he deems that Iran no longer poses a credible
beard looks
threat
nice
to
today.
the United States of America.
Thank you.
And again, it goes back to what is
Why don't
that
they just call it a
unconditional
regime
surrender
change
look
war?
like? Iran can talk all they want, and
'cause-
their words will be very empty when we've completely
'cause they're worried
annihilated
about
their
it not
navy as we
happening.
are
That's the
doing, and
reason
we've
why.
taken out the threat of their ballistic missile capability when we
They
can
know they can pull
firmly,
up all their missiles,
finally
but they don't know
ensure
if they
that
can change
no
the
longer
government.
make a nuclear bomb to threaten the
That's the
United
reason
States
why.
and our allies and our.
Hey, thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button. We're now currently at 8,737 subs. Once again, we're at 8,737 subscribers. I really appreciate it. So tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. We're trying to get to 8,800 before the end of the night. I think we could do it, bro. And here's the thing, man. This whole look, it's basically over when Trump says it's over, right? Trump doesn't want a long war. In fact, he wants it to be as quick as possible, to be quite honest. That's what Trump wants, and I believe him. Surprisingly, I believe him. Well, I guess it doesn't shock some people, but no, I believe Trump. I think Trump wants to see an end of this war as quickly as possible. He doesn't want a multi-year war. He wants it to be a month long or less.
Troops in the region, and that's what President Trump is ultimately seeking to do.
There's also optics
with
to it,
respect
yeah.
to this operation. Jennifer.
There was a shooting outside of a synagogue in Baltimore. Do you know if the president has been briefed on that, and do you have any more details?
A synagogue in Baltimore.
I don't, but we certainly will.
I heard about that earlier. I still don't know much about that, about what was happening earlier at the synagogue, but crazy though.
We'll get you more
I'm
details,
sure they must
Jennifer,
be,
and, I don't know if the president has briefed, but I'll check on that when I get back to the Oval Office after this.
Sure, it must be a totally normal thing.
The president said yesterday for the first time that he had to strike Iran because he believes that Iran was going to strike U.S. targets within 7 days. And then he bumped that down later to 3 days. Where is he getting that?
Well, that's not the first time the president has said that he chose to launch Operation.
He just made it up. That's where he got it. Everybody knows he just made it up.
The United States and our assets in the region first.
I mean, let's be honest.
I addressed this in the last
Trump's like, I don't know.
Like, yeah, I feel like they're going to do some kind of
We'll just
shit.
do whatever.
Him by his top
Yeah.
negotiators.
I don't
who
like
had been
this.
engaged with the Iranian regime in a good faith effort. The Iranian.
Thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner, though. It really does help the channel grow. Once again, tap the subscribe button in that upper right-hand corner. We're a smaller channel. We're trying to grow at a rapid rate. I want to thank everybody for giving gifts as well. All the gifts have been very appreciated. The subscribes, the likes. Double tap the screen. Once again, double tap the screen to like the stream. It really does help push us out on the algorithm quite a bit. The more likes we get, the better. So let's keep rolling.
Regime was lying, deceiving the United States of America, clearly trying to continue their nuclear program to create a bomb that would, of course, threaten the United States of America. Again, their ballistic missile arsenal, they were rapidly and aggressively increasing that by the month to a place where they would essentially build immunity for themselves, where a future president or President Trump would not be able to launch this incredibly successful operation. And so the president, again, as I have reiterated, and he has said, he's not going to sit back and allow the Iranian regime to threaten or to attack the United States of America any longer.
It was only a matter of time.
Leaders or Israeli leaders who are making those same claims. So is he making this up to justify his decision to go to war now?
Yeah, he made the whole thing up.
Not making anything up.
He made the whole thing up.
Looking at
this
every single day based on intelligence, based on facts, and based on intelligence that he himself and his negotiators have
he read it on Twitter.
Consumed based on their, again, negotiations with the rogue Iranian regime over the past year. And the president and his team tried in a good faith way to reach a diplomatic deal through peaceful means with the Iranian regime.
It seems like these people are more interested in catching Trump and saying something wrong than actually
Iran wanted to attack the United
saying
States
anything
of
about
America,
the news.
And the president was not going to sit back and allow that to happen. He was not going to sit back and allow that to happen, and everyone in this room should be grateful for it.
Yeah.
John.
Thanks a lot, Caroline. Two questions for you. One has to do with a follow-up to your statement that you made at the beginning of the briefing regarding the Save America Act.
Sure.
Yesterday,
it's always about whether Trump was right or wrong. It's not like about whether a decision is good or bad. It's like surrounding him. It's always about like his reaction or his response.
It's because Trump's a character, man. Trump sells ratings. Let's face it, man. Trump is a ratings machine. I mean, there's no denying it. Trump is a ratings machine. You get a story on Trump, man, you're getting ratings. That's all there is to it. It's ratings with that man. The man is a walking ratings machine. Tap the subscribe button, by the way, in the upper right-hand corner, please. I love you guys.
To something.
The votes aren't there for a talking filibuster. He says that's the reality. What's your reaction to what Senator Thune said?
Look, I think President Trump, the urgency behind his need to pass the Save America Act and his desire to get this country-saving legislation passed has been made quite clear. He wants all options on the table, and he wants the Senate to move as quickly as possible through whatever means necessary.
And then secondly, just regarding the president's trip tomorrow.
I'm a beta. Everybody keeps saying I'm a beta. Why are you guys saying I'm a beta? Are you guys calling me a beta in the chat? What the hell's up with that? I'm a beta. Beta.
Looking ahead, why Ohio and why Northern Kentucky?
Well, why not? These are two great states with great Americans.
Just wanted to know why they were chosen.
Great states with great Americans. The president will be joined by
we're going to bomb Ohio and Kentucky after Cuba.
Who he
That's the reason why.
And respects and supports.
Yeah, she can't say that yet.
These places and
it's a
talking
secret.
about the economy, which is, of course, the utmost importance to him.
Thank you. Minnesota, we're building up to it.
The Energy Secretary issued a waiver for India to get oil, Russian oils.
This might be a surprise, guys, but he's asking about India.
Have you spoken to the president about it? What's the idea behind this?
Have I spoken to the president about it?
Yeah.
Yes, I have spoken to the president about it. And the president and the Secretary of Treasury and the whole national security team came to this decision because our allies in India, as you know, Lalit, have been good actors and have previously stopped buying sanctioned Russian oil. So as we work to appease this temporary gap of oil supply around the world because of the Iranians, we have temporarily permitted them to accept that Russian oil. And this Russian oil was already at sea. It was already out on the water. So this short-term measure, we don't believe it will provide significant financial benefit to the Russian government at this time.
I have one more
Interesting.
About Pakistan. You know, Pakistan is a neighbor of Iran, and Pakistan is also an ally of U.S. President has been praising a lot about the field marshal. Is Pakistan providing any kind of support in this war against
Pakistan?
Iran? That I will have to check on with the Pentagon and get back to you.
Uh-oh.
Sure.
I haven't thought about Pakistan in a long time, bro. In fact, I don't think about the Middle East at all. I try to not think about the Middle East at all. I try so hard not to think about the Middle East. I avoid thinking about them.
The president said yesterday that President Putin told him he wanted to be helpful in the Middle East.
President Putin wanted to help out?
Putin said, quote, "I would like to reaffirm our unwavering support for Tehran and our solidarity with Iranian friends." How does the president think that Russia could be helpful, if not,
maybe by not
helping
saying that?
Iran? And did the president push Putin on Russia sharing intelligence with Iran in this war?
Why the fuck
The
would she know
president
that?
and his special envoy Witkoff have both said that, of
Interesting.
course, they've sent a message to Russia that if that was taking place, it's not something they would be happy
Yeah,
with.
tell them
and
to
they think
stop.
that it is not taking
They
place.
quit doing that.
As for further
It's
details
fucking
about the
annoying.
discussions between these two leaders, I'll leave it to the president to divulge any more of that conversation. But he did confirm it yesterday and provided you with a little bit
Yeah.
of the background and his view and his perspective, as he always does.
Not a surprise.
Regarding the
Maybe not showing
missile
boat
strike on
locations,
the Iranian
yeah.
school, how long does the administration expect that investigation to take, and will the White House or the Department of Defense release a full report of its findings once the investigation is complete?
The Department of War will do that. The investigation continues, and as the president said yesterday at his press conference, he will accept the conclusion of that investigation, whatever it may be. We'll go to the back row for some love.
Dumb
Sure,
question.
in the back,
It's just,
with the,
yeah.
with the glasses.
The school explosion again?
Regarding the shield of the
Sitting down.
Americas.
Yeah.
Carolyn, is
And
there
then you can go, but go first.
Okay, thank you. Is there an update regarding
You have rough real estate back there, so I'm
Is,
trying to give you
is
some
there an
love.
update regarding Cuba, and also is an economic deal imminent?
Cuba.
Sure, I don't have any updates on Cuba for you today. Obviously, this is
Yeah, I
something
bet.
the administration is actively dealing with. The president's made it quite clear, it's his belief, based on fact, that the Cuban regime
Cuba's next, dude. That's what they're saying. Cuba's next. Absolutely. Cuba is next.
is bound to fall. The country is obviously in a very weak place.
Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, though. Tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow in a lot of ways, so I appreciate you guys for your never-ending support. It's amazing. You guys make the show go round, and I appreciate all you guys.
Economically speaking, the
Yeah,
people
Cuba's
are crying
done.
out for help.
It's over.
And the president believes and knows that the Cuban regime wants a deal. So as you know, Secretary of State Rubio has been engaged in those conversations as directed by the president.
Yeah, he's
going
gonna
to
take it over.
For you today, though.
Thank you, Caroline. Regarding the Shield of the Americas, the initiative by President Trump this weekend, big names, a lot of countries, but some notable absences. For instance, Colombia, which is a key ally with the United States in terms of counter-narcotics.
Cuba is already a humanitarian crisis. Yeah, Cuba is a shithole.
Why wasn't Colombia
I agree with Asman on that one, man.
invited to the Shield?
Massive shithole.
I don't think we're seeing the level of cooperation we quite want to see yet from the Colombian government to invite them to the Shield of America's event in PACT, but we certainly hope that this newfound organization will expand and we can continue
It's bad,
to
bad?
invite
Yeah, that's what I
additional
heard.
member countries.
I heard the
But,
same thing.
there was quite a few countries there. I believe there were 17 countries represented,
Shows
12
they
heads
love
of
to.
state
We'll
with
see.
the president over the
They're
weekend.
gonna get the love.
They
They're gonna get
signed
it
a defense
very
agreement with
intimately.
all of our militaries to emphasize the need to combat drug cartels through Latin America
Yeah.
in the Western Hemisphere, and ultimately, of course, to curb the illegal trafficking of drugs to the United States, which is the president's
That's the main
utmost
focus, right?
priority
Yeah.
in all of
It
this.
should be the
so
main
it was a great
focus. It
event
should
on
be.
Saturday, and we look forward to the coalition expanding.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly in the back.
Caroline, thank you. Good to see you. I want to get back to another question that was asked earlier. It talked about the political aspects, but there's also the ideological and the spiritual aspects of what Iran has said
What
for
is this?
47 years. Death to America, death to
That's
Israel.
bad. That's really
And
bad.
we've just
The death
finished
to
talking
America
about
thing.
the fact that terror has been around the world. Iran has been the nexus of that in so many ways. Has the president stated clearly to the American people why this is such an imminent threat in order for Democrats on Capitol?
I think it should be pretty obvious, but I think it is good to. I think Trump does need to reiterate that Iran has been a central nexus of funding terror. They have been one of the number one not state, but like one of the number one countries to fund terrorism. So, just saying.
I think the
Hill and
messaging isn't very good about
and
Iran.
the American people
honestly.
to understand how imminent the threat
I think it's actually really bad.
Well, I think it should. Yeah, and I agree with Asman on this one. While it should be obvious that Iran that a weak Iran is a good Iran. It just isn't obvious to everybody, and people need a little bit of extra explaining on this one. And since Iran has been a huge funder of terrorism, one of the reasons it's so important to destabilize Iran's government is to prevent the additional funding of terrorism. I mean, this is working, man. I love what Trump is doing, man. I say keep going, Trump, man, because Iran sucks. Iran is one of the worst countries of all time. It's just terrible. It is a terrible, terrible country. And, I fully support what Trump is doing, man. Fully 100% support Trump on this.
I think he has, Kelly. I mean, you've heard from
No,
the
I don't agree.
on an almost daily basis over the course of the past
I don't
10
agree
days.
at all.
You've heard it from me at this podium. You've heard it from the Secretary of War, the
Oh,
Secretary.
hey, guys, don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. Once again, don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It really does help the channel grow. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate the thumbs up. Everybody, let's give a round of applause to Renamva. Hold on. Renaman. How do you say your name, man? Rena Manvalova. It's 5200. Thank you so much for the thumbs up, for the 10 jewels. I appreciate it. I'm going to put your name up on the board. Everybody, make sure you guys check out my boy right there. Thank you so much for for sending a thumbs up for 10 jewels. I really do appreciate it, man. It really does help the channel grow. The more gifts we get, even small gifts like a thumbs up or anything, even a happy poop yum yum, these gifts really do keep the channel afloat. So I do want to thank everybody for taking the time to not only subscribe to the channel, but to send us gifts. The virtual gifts really do help. So don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner, as it really does keep us afloat. Subscriptions and gifts, man. That keeps this channel functional. Keeps this channel rolling, man. So I appreciate it big time. I'm going to keep that thumbs up on the board for a while on the top of the screen, man.
United States.
That's a surprise.
Thank you so
The
much.
president's top cabinet and his officials have been repeatedly explaining to the American public the threat
Don't listen,
that
Barger,
Iran
off
has
Cuba
posed
after we
to our
stabilize
country
them?
in
Yeah, of
this
course.
moment, but of
That's
course
the
over
point.
the course of the past
That's
47
the whole
years.
point.
And their words, again, chanting death to America, speak for themselves.
Shouldn't do
Yep.
that.
Go ahead. You can follow up.
Why the division within the American people? I realize that we have the people are talking about the War Powers Act.
Yeah.
They're talking about all kinds of issues.
Hey, thank you guys for subscribing. I see we got one more subscriber on the board, so I want to thank you for subscribing to the channel. Remember, guys, tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. I do appreciate you a lot. Let's keep going.
But have people forgotten
Doesn't matter
just
when the
how
media's against
imminent that threat was?
Yeah.
If they keep saying
probably
death
true.
to America
Well-
and death to Israel, they mean it.
Look, I don't think the American people have forgotten, but I think Democrats on Capitol Hill, they have not forgotten.
They don't
but they are
forget.
just
It's
so
not they
vague,
forgot, they
with
agree.
this.
Oh, you guys, double tap the screen. That's true, Asman. That is true. That they agree, death to America. Yeah. I don't think Democrats really like America. Every time I hear them talk about America, it's always in a bad way. You know, I just don't feel like Democrats really give two shits about America. I think that they want to let their white guilt control everything they do. And when you let your white guilt control everything you do, man, it's suicidal empathy. It's not good, man. But yeah, double tap the screen to like the stream. One more time, double tap the screen to like the stream. And if you guys can, tap the subscribe button. We're at 8,740 subscribers. Once again, we're at 8,740 subscribers. So tap the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 8,800 subscribers by the end of the night. I think we could do it, man. I think we could pull it off.
Resistance
They hate
to
America.
President Trump on everything that they
That's the
do,
reason why they want to
that,
bring in
again, they
foreigners.
can't even rally behind the common sense.
Yeah.
Hey, let's give a shout out to Rid Cock for 4390 for sending a happy poop yum yum. I appreciate that. One more time, Rid Cock 4390. Thank you so much for doing that. For some reason, it's not showing it up on the board, so I could put it up on there. So I'm sorry about that, man. But yeah, don't forget to tap the subscribe button. Don't forget to feel free to send us gifts. Gifts really help the channel grow. But I really do appreciate all this, you guys. Mad, I appreciate you recognizing how based I am. I appreciate that big time, dude. Amazing.
bipartisan, long-standing principle of the United States
it's not even a question,
that Iran absolutely poses a threat to the United States, that Iran is the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism, and I think that's reflected again in their voting pattern. In 2023, every single member of the House of Representatives, with the exception of one, I believe the final vote was 412 to 1 in 2023 for a resolution condemning Iran as the world's state leading sponsor of.
But once again, everybody, give a shout out to my boy Ridcock 4390 for sending a happy poop yum yum for 10 jewels. I appreciate that, Brony. Anybody who wants to send any sort of gifts, we appreciate it. I want to try to recognize anybody I can who sends a gift, because it does keep the channel going. And we want to give you that social recognition. We want you to be heard, bro. We want you to be heard. We love you. No, I appreciate you guys. You guys are incredible.
Of terror, and now in 20,
I feel like everybody knew this.
Under this president,
now we're
in
switching
2026, 53 Democrats voted against that exact same resolution with the exact same language. I don't think that's a change in the threat that Iran has posed to the United States.
They're bombing here in Qatar.
I think it's
we'll look at it after
the
this.
Democrat Party's thinking and their.
I'm sure there's been multiple Iran crash outs.
Danny,
sure. Thanks, Caroline. Following on Kelly, what's the national threat level right now because of this?
Give me one moment. Little Misty. Oh, our sweet little Misty kitty. She's so cute.
Death to America, death to Israel issue.
I believe the Department of Homeland Security
The threat
and the FBI
level?
have repeatedly and continuously
Infinity.
provided updates on the
It's
threat level
orange.
to the homeland. I don't
Threat
want to speak
level
on
orange.
it out of turn from up here.
Whatever
but of
you
course,
think that means,
the
that's what it
federal
is.
government is continuing
Orange.
to coordinate and partner with local law enforcement agencies across the ground to
Be
thwart
US for
potential
COVID.
threats to the homeland.
People
This is
wear masks
something
if they're
the
sick
administration
sometimes.
obviously takes very seriously. We
South
are
Korea,
thwarting
they do that shit all the
threats,
time.
that frankly most Americans don't know about because they never make headlines, but that's the great work that the Department of Homeland Security is doing, and it emphasizes
Orange
and
like
underscores
Trump?
the
Yes,
point
he's
of
the
why
threat.
Democrats need to fund and reopen fully the Department of Homeland Security right now. Danny.
On the Iranian school, why did President Trump say yesterday that Iran may have Tomahawk missiles when there are only 3 other US allies plus the US that have those missiles and therefore could...
Look, again, as the president said yesterday, he will accept the conclusion of this investigation by the Department of War. I know there's been a lot of speculation in the media about who may be responsible for this.
It doesn't matter who's responsible for bombing the
Department of
school.
War and the conclusion of that investigation. The president has a right to
It doesn't
share
matter.
his opinions with the American public, but he has said he'll accept the conclusion.
I think it does. I think it matters. I think it's good to know what the result of that actually was, because, I mean, that's a big deal. You know, that was a school full of children. You know, I think that people do probably want an answer. I think people want an answer, so.
Of that
If they say
investigation,
Iran
and
did it,
frankly,
they're going to say
we're
that
not
the
gonna be
government's
harassed
lying.
By the New York Times, who's
They'll
been
only
putting out a
accept
lot of
the
articles
outcome
on
that the
this,
government's wrong.
making claims that have just not been verified
That's it.
by the Department of War to quickly wrap up this investigation because the New York Times is calling.
Yeah, if you guys can, though, double tap the screen. Double tap the screen to like the stream. Once again, double tap the screen to like the stream. It really does help the channel grow. So the more likes we get, the better. So double tap the screen to like the stream. Let's keep going. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Carolyn, with the
It's a moot point, yeah.
currently under a partial Democrat shutdown, does the administration have any specific concerns about potential impact on Homeland Security?
Matters to make the narrative more
or
negative?
intelligence monitoring of sleeper cells inside the United States? And do you have any comment on the bombing, the 2 individuals that bombed
Epstein
New York City
paradox?
were tied to?
Yeah, it was absolutely despicable to see that attack in New York City.
Mhm.
I know the FBI is investigating.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The Department of Justice
The other
and
terrorist
SDNY have
attack.
announced they are charging
The
these
ISIS
2
Andes.
individuals and alleged terrorists, and I know they won't rest until justice is sought in this case.
Yep.
Daniel.
Thank you, Caroline. Appreciate it. Millions of Americans are filing taxes for the first time since the president signed the One Big Beautiful Bill Act into law. New reports say that new IRS data says that the average federal tax refund is around $3,800, a little bit up from the last period of last year. Does the president believe that the average federal tax refund increasing this year could provide a little bit more economic growth?
Well, it should. That'd be good.
Ideally, it should, man.
As the year progresses.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and Americans
obviously.
are going to start benefiting from the fruits of President Trump and Republicans'
We talking about the
labor,
Antifa guy kill a
through the
cop?
passage
No, I
of
didn't
the
see
One Big
anything about
Beautiful
that.
Bill and these historic tax cuts. We are midway through tax season, so just to provide an update from the Treasury Department that just went out moments ago, nearly 63.5 million tax returns have been processed thus far. 45% of the anticipated total number of tax
What is
returns
this?
by April
Norma, you
15th,
linking me
so don't
this?
forget to file your taxes, people.
Yeah, I actually got a surprisingly a good return. I got a really good tax return this year. That was actually shocking. Way more shocking than I anticipated. For sure. I think it was really cool. Doesn't happen every day for me. Yeah, it's really, really neat, though. Really neat.
And the average
Taxes.
refund this year is more than $3,700. And we know that more than 27.5 million individuals who have filed their tax returns
The
thus
IRS
far
sent me
have
a letter.
claimed at least one of President Trump's
sent me a
new
letter.
tax cuts. Over 3.5 million returns have claimed
They
no
said that I
tax
owed
on
them
tips. Over 15.5
Thank you for
million
subscribing to the
returns
Michael
claimed no
Garza
tax
Show.
on-
Don't forget to tap the subscribe button. In the
Asman
upper right-hand
owes
corner.
$390,000 to the IRS. What? Really?
On overtime, over 9.2
No way.
million returns have
It's like
claimed
4
the
days
enhanced
ago.
deduction for seniors, and over 690,000 returns have claimed no tax on car loan interest. And another amazing statistic: nearly 3.5 million.
Well, here's the thing. Asman makes like millions of dollars. So in a given year, Asman's going to have to pay typically in a given year. He might owe some. It's possible that Asman also doesn't do his taxes either. So he probably like owes the
Thank you for
IRS a bunch
subscribing
of
to
money.
The Michael Garza Show. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
Hey, thank you guys for subscribing, by the way. Here, in fact, let me put your guys' names back on the board. Let's give a shout out to a guy Mang Samuel.
Thank you for subscribing to the Michael Garza Show.
Everybody give a round of
Don't
applause.
forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
Hey, thank you for subscribing, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button, by the way. More subscribers we get, the better it does help the channel grow in more
Thank you
ways
for
than one.
subscribing to the Michael Garza Show.
And
Don't
Hashem
forget to tap the subscribe button in the
Solomon,
upper right-hand corner.
Thank you so much for subscribing, man. I appreciate you. Got your name up on the board, brother. Thanks for subscribing to the channel, though. It really does help the channel grow. More subscribers we get, the better. Really trying to push ourselves on the YouTube algorithm like crazy. We're growing, man. We're at 8,743 subscribers already. Unbelievable. So don't forget to tap the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 8,800 subscribers by the end of the night. I think we could pull it off. I want to see us pull it off. Let's do it.
Trump accounts have been open
do another
for
fucking
children
sponsor
in our
stream.
country thus far. So we look forward to. I know the Treasury Department continues to look forward to seeing these checks go out the door and into
Yeah.
the pockets of
Do you?
hardworking
I don't know.
Americans. And the president will be meeting with them himself tomorrow on the road in both Ohio and Kentucky. And we look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you, guys.
You could write that off. I can't write it off, bro. Like they got me on, and so yeah, you owe us a house.
See, that's what, dude. See, that's one of the reasons why I pay my taxes like crazy. If I owe any taxes, I make sure I pay it. If I get a return, I'm happy. But you know, every year I make sure that I pay my taxes on the spot. I pay everything I got to pay if I need to pay anything. But I'm very good about making sure that I am spot on. I gotta always make sure I'm spot on with taxes, dude.
I mean, yeah, I got the letter, and like I'll check my mail and I'll see like, oh fuck, there's another letter from the IRS, and like right now I have like my taxes that are getting managed by like a place, and so it's like I'm not stressed out about it, but it was like I opened it up and I like texted them. I'm like, hey, just wanted to let you know I got a letter. It said I owe $390,000. They're like, oh okay, well we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. I said, all right, cool. and then I just went back to playing video games and I haven't thought about it since then, and they never called me about it. So like, I'm assuming that things just kind of work themselves out, right? I mean,
it's a good idea to keep up on your taxes though, even if you got a CPA doing shit. CPAs get bogged down by their clients, so you should always keep tabs on your taxes. It just makes life so much easier. I do everything I can to make sure I don't owe any back taxes just because I want to keep up on all of it. The goal is just to keep up on everything.
I did.
And one of the reasons why I keep a absorbent amount. Oh man. Give me one moment. Oh, here we go. U.S. destroys Iranian mine-laying ships near Strait of Hormuz.
Hey, Mandy Mac, day number 11 of this ongoing conflict in Iran. And although President Trump has said there are no reports of...
Hey, make sure you guys tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. Once again, don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. We're really trying to grow the channel as much as we can, so whatever you guys can do to help out, please subscribe, man. The more subscribers, the more we thrive, baby. So keep on subscribing. Oh, yeah. Oh. But yeah, I'm not a fan of... Let's see. Ridcock. Ridcock is having a good time in the chat. I could tell. What a stud, dude. What a stud.
Mines being placed in the Strait of Hormuz. Those threats, those just reports are causing issues with this major energy artery there. And you can see this from Central Command saying the forces, they have eliminated multiple Iranian naval vessels, including 16 mine layers near that Strait of Hormuz. As President Trump said, there would be likely more to follow, saying the U.S. military has completely destroyed some of those mine-laying vessels. Additionally, they're saying we are using the same technology and missile capabilities deployed there in the Strait of Hormuz against drug traffickers, like that were permanently eliminated any boat or ship attempting to mine Hormuz Strait. So some of these images from the Central Command showing what's going on, saying they will dealt with quickly and violently. Let's be joined right now by maritime expert, global shipping expert, Campbell University professor Sal Mercogliano. Sal, thank you so much for joining us. And just at the outset of this conflict, you kind of pointed to mines could be a possibility in the Strait of Hormuz. Right now, they're just threats. They're just basically a theory, but that's still deterring vessels, isn't it?
It is, Andy, and thanks for having me. I think mines are really the threat that everybody feared the most. And in truth, you don't have to lay one mine to cause the problem. Just the threat of it creates consternation among shipping. As you know, since February 28th, what we've seen happen is shipping is basically locked up. I mean, it's stopped moving largely through the straits. We've had a couple of small ships come through. We've had a couple of ships that have sailed onto the area. But in truth, what we're seeing right now is global shipping has come to almost a full stop. And this represents 20% of global oil. This represents 20% of liquefied natural gas. And probably most disconcerting, it represents about a third of the world's fertilizer and the bunker fuel for a lot of ships out there. So, I mean, this is going to have an astronomical effect on global economics if we cannot get the strait open again.
And we know that President Trump has said there are no reports. They're not hearing that there are any mines out there, but that is deterrence enough. Exactly how would Iran lay mines? Exactly kind of formulate this for me. How dangerous are they out there?
Well, we have different styles of mine, and I think one of the things that a lot of people are doing is looking at kind of old-fashioned ones they've laid back in the 80s and the 90s, the kind of the traditional, you know, big, huge floating ball with the horns on it. That's the kind of your traditional contact mine. But it's
Interesting.
Mines have changed, much like we've seen.
It's kind of cool. This guy's got like a Lego globe. How fucking cool is that, dude?
Mine warfare change on land. Much more sophisticated bottom mines, very difficult to detect, made out of composites, mines that actually move almost like drones, mines that allow ships to sail over a few
floating mines are totally possible, by the way. So to anybody in the chat who's saying that ships cannot lay mines, yes, they can, by the way. Floating mines, there are ships that are designed to lay mines in the water. So underwater mines are a real thing. That's a real thing, bro. If you don't think that's a real thing, you're an idiot.
Times and then the next one. So I mean, really, really dangerous types of mines out there, and they become very difficult to detect too. And one of the things that the U.S. has just done, is change.
If you guys can, we're at 8,746 subscribers. Once again, we're at 8,746 subs. Make sure you tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It really does help the channel grow in a lot of ways. But yeah, just tap the subscribe button, and we're trying to get to 8,800 subscribers by the end of the night. So the more subscribers, the better, man. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
Out its minesweeping fleet in the Persian Gulf. 4 older minesweepers, old wooden ones that have been there for like 35 years, were removed. And now we have 3 new littoral combat ships with these new minesweeping drones on board. So the U.S. has minesweeping capability in the Gulf. But the question is going to be is really these different styles of mines. It's a very difficult prospect because you can't just sweep the first time going through. You have to continually be on the lookout for them.
Yeah, it's not just a one.
It's cool that they're actually taking out those ships, though. It is a good thing that they're taking out those ships that are laying mines like that. That's crazy. Take them all out, dude. I'm so sick of Iran, dude. The more I hear about Iran, the more I want to throw up, dude. Make sure you guys double tap the screen to like the stream. Once again, double tap the screen to like the stream.
Thank you for subscribing
to
the Michael Garza Show. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
Hey, let's give a shout-out to C-Dubs, baby. Oh, hold on. Everybody, let's give a shout-out to C-Dubs for subscribing to the channel. I'm going to put your name back up on the screen real quick. Everybody, one more time, shout-out to C-Dubs for subscribing to the channel. Let's go.
Thank you for subscribing to the Michael Garza Show. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
Time sort of deal with this, and we talk about this mines being out there, just the threat being a deterrence. But if a ship, if a vessel, if a major oil tanker hits one of these mines, will it sink potentially? Is it just a huge traffic jam? What happens?
Well, actually, an oil tanker hitting a mine is not actually the most dangerous thing in the world. Back in 1987, during the first escort operations, the SS Bridgeton, a fully loaded oil tanker, actually hit a mine, and the ship's crew wasn't quite aware of what happened until they saw a plume of water come over. Tankers are so big that really didn't do much damage. Matter of fact, a fully loaded oil tanker actually dumps oil out and gets lighter in the water. But there are types of vessels that can damage it. And more importantly, there are sophisticated types of mines, especially these bottom influence mines. Mines that blow up under a ship can cause a lot of physical damage to a ship. And
yeah, that's true, man.
Some ships that sail through this area, particularly liquefied petroleum and liquefied natural gas carriers, where fire would be the big concern we have. And obviously...
Yeah, so if you lay mines, if they're laying mines in that strait, and that hits it hits a ship with a ton of chemicals in it, you're just basically causing so much unnecessary destruction. You're also polluting the water and the land in the area. You're just making it worse. So this level of terrorism needs to be stopped. This level of terrorism is not acceptable at all, dude.
An oil tanker with a hole in the side, fully loaded, we have environmental issues all at play there.
And if they did put them out, and no reports that they have so far, you mentioned anchored, but could they just be drifting there in the strait? Is that a possibility?
Oh, we definitely saw that in the 1990-91 war when Iraq laid mines, and one of the things that happened is they would use these anchored mines, but the anchors would give way, and so you had drifting
I'm
mines.
woke.
I was out in the Persian Gulf at the time, and we were on the lookout for
I'm not
drifting
really woke.
mines. So it is a
I'm
problem.
not woke.
Mines will drift, and some mines are designed to actually do that. So there's some sophisticated mines that hold position. They have motors, they have electronic devices with GPS. They can determine where they're at. Others can basically move in patterns. Again, much like what we saw in the Iraq War and Afghanistan with IEDs, these improvised explosive devices. Mines are explosive devices, but they're not improvised. They're really well thought out. And the question is going to be the sophisticated mines that Iran has, and more importantly, their ability to deploy them, because you don't need a traditional mine layer. You can do it on small boats, and you can actually drop them from aerial projectiles like rockets.
Yeah, that is interesting, and obviously, potentially, they're having those kind of minesweepers out there, but that also takes some time. We're also hearing that the U.S. Navy might get involved, and there were some interesting conversations taking place, interesting developments today, as Chris Wright, the Energy Secretary, posted that the U.S. military was escorting the first oil tanker through the Strait of Hormuz. The White House pushing back, saying that post was premature, saying it's not happening. We're actually hearing from different officials in Iran, including the parliament, talking about this exact fact, saying that an oil tanker crossed the Strait of Hormuz escorted by the U.S. Navy, maybe on PlayStation. That's one of the members of parliament in Iran. What would it look like, and how I
mean, this is interesting, though. I'm getting quite the education from this, kind of learning how these types of boats work and the damage that they're doing. I mean, this is interesting, man. This is educational material for me. I mean, I don't know much about how boats can lay mines or what kind of mines, but we're really learning that this can cause serious damage if one of these mines is active and gets hit. That's huge, man. Insane.
Realistically challenging would it be if the U.S. Navy does get involved in this way?
Well, I think the Navy is really the one that commercial firms are looking at right now. They want to see some movement. They want to know that the strait is safe, either from mines or from unmanned aerial vehicles and surface vehicles and weaponry, missiles. So, I mean, they're really looking toward the U.S. Navy to do it. As we saw this morning, General Kane, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, fielded a question about this specifically, and said that he is developing plans that the military Central Command, the U.S. Fifth Fleet, are really standing by to be tasked to do this. I think the Navy is going to be the one who's going to have to really uncork the Strait of Hormuz. So we may see, conventional, like World War II style escorts. I think that's a very...
We just might, man. I'm curious to what we're going to see here, man. So the U.S. has not yet escorted an oil tanker through the Strait of Hormuz.
A low probability to happen. I think what we would see, however, is U.S. Navy vessels going in, sweeping the area, minesweepers with destroyers, providing almost like a cordon, a defense screen of ships, and then allow some of the ships that are in the Persian Gulf to come out. There are 5 U.S. flag vessels that are stuck in the Gulf. Let some fully loaded vessels out and bring some empties in to go hit the facilities. Because, again, one of the things we don't want to see happen is oil facilities shut down in Kuwait and Bahrain and Qatar. We really want to see that artery open back up.
Yeah, uncorked might be the apt term to use when we're talking about this that you mentioned there, Sal, but we talk about resources and logistics of everything going on. If the U.S. Navy is involved, if they're kind of stationed there, like you mentioned, kind of chauffeuring these vessels through, is that another target that Iran potentially could be looking at? And could they use some of their assets to do this? Because more ships, maybe more targets?
I think so, because, again, it's not just a matter of really getting into the Strait of Hormuz, because having sailed through the strait, it's a narrow spot. But when you get out in the Persian Gulf is a narrow strait of water, actually. So, I mean, you're talking about probably having to provide protection all the way up to Kuwait, down to the Strait of Hormuz. That's 500 nautical miles. It's a big, huge area. And obviously, the U.S. is going to be hesitant to put warships back into that area. However, if you want to get commercial ships moving, you really have got to prove that the area is free and open for navigation.
Hey, thank you guys for tapping the like button, though. The more likes we get, the better. It does help the channel grow. So double tap the screen to like the stream. One more time, double tap the screen to like the stream. So make sure you guys double tap that screen, baby. Yeah, double tap it. Don't tap it with your tip. Don't tap it with your tip, though. But double tap that screen to like the stream, okay? And also, please subscribe to the channel. We're so close to getting to 8,800 subscribers. We're currently sitting pretty at 8,748 subscribers. Once again, we're sitting pretty at 8,748 subscribers. So tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow in a lot of ways, so I want to thank you guys for taking the time to help the channel become what it is today. You guys are amazing. You guys make this channel grow. You guys make my pee-pee grow. No, I'm just kidding. JK.
And that's going to require really the Navy to go in there and to go in harm's way, which is what the Navy does throughout its history.
And we've seen several vessels kind of sneak through, and we're talking about the designation, the flags they're flying, how they're saying, because there was potentially a ship that had a China owner and crew, and that snuck through. How are vessels, how are companies kind of trying to manage that to kind of skirt some of what's going on with Iran to get through the strait?
Yeah, so we've seen a couple of, tactics. We've seen some Iranian ships come out. What you mentioned before with the China owners, we saw that extensively back in the Red Sea, where the Chinese owners would do that. I counted today 3 bulk carriers coming out with China owner or China crew on board. Really important, the bulk carriers, they're carrying fertilizer. About a third of the world's fertilizer comes out of this region. So we're seeing that happen.
Crazy.
We had a couple of Greek tankers. Greek ship owners are the biggest holders of ships in the world. We saw one company in particular run a couple of tankers out, and we had a couple of dark fleet tankers make the run through there. So it's been, kind of what we kind of expected is to start seeing.
Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, though. The more subscribers we get, the better. We're currently sitting pretty at 8,748 subscribers. Once again, we're at 8,748 subscribers. So don't forget to tap the subscribe button. It really does help our channel grow, and makes me feel like I got a bigger dong than I actually do. I got a pretty small dong, so it does make me feel like I'm at least loaded in the pants. So tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner, man. It really does help us out. We're a smaller channel. We're trying to ultimately get to 10,000 subs, but if we can get to 8,800 subscribers by the end of the night, man, I'll be happy with that. I'll be very happy with that result.
Seeing kind of individual ships coming through. A lot of this is high risk, but also a lot of it's high reward, particularly for that Greek tank owner. He sees an opportunity for some money here. But I do think if we're going to see the vast movement, this kind of small movement isn't enough really to get cargo moving. We're going to need to get.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of traffic through that strait. There's so much traffic through that strait. It's crazy. It is wild just how much actual, real presence is there.
Get beyond just a few ships a day back up to the 125 that we saw happening prior to February 28th.
And I know you've been wandering kind of feeds like this, showcasing the Strait of Hormuz, those vessels. But another interesting kind of note about this is potentially satellite navigation kind of interference taking place where some of the ships are not in the location they say they are. What does that signal to you, Sal?
Well, the Iranians have been jamming and spoofing like crazy. I mean, you'll see in feeds like for marine traffic, ships clustered together. You'll get ships on land, for example. I mean, you get to see this. A lot of this has to do with Iranians really wanting to make it difficult should the ships try to navigate through the area.
It looks like they are, man. It looks like they are.
A lot of ships rely on global positioning system, much like we travel around with global positioning.
I love my GPS, bro. I love my GPS. GPS is the tits, by the way.
System. Ships do that too, but there are other methods of navigation. There's terrestrial and celestial navigation. They have radar. But again, it goes to a tactic used by the Iranians to try to harass shipping, whether it's physical harassing or messing around with their navigation and positioning systems. Again, another tactic used by the Iranians quite extensively, actually, throughout the whole Persian Gulf.
Yeah, that is very interesting. It's kind of fascinating to see, and it's interesting to see just how many vessels are in this very straight and very narrow kind of location in there. Over the next several days, Sal, what are you going to be focusing on? Because there's going to be kind of reports coming out whether or not mines were actually laid, whether the U.S. Navy escorts them, how they're doing the mine sweeping. What other things are you monitoring the next several days to indicate some of what's going on?
Well, really watching to see if we get further movement by Chinese vessels. I think that's going to be a really interesting. We're seeing ships come out. We haven't seen ships go in, and that's going to be a really interesting one. If you start seeing ships go in, that's a big.
See, the ships are getting out of there because they're like, fuck this, dude. I can't believe there was 16 mine-laying vessels near the Strait of Hormuz. Insane, dude.
Indication that things are getting ready to break here. I think the other thing we're really starting to watch is diversions. This is very akin, Andy, to what happened when Ever Given got stuck in the Suez, and we saw ships piling up on each side of the Suez. And we got to a point 6 days in where we were beginning to think, okay, this is an inflection point. Will ships start diverting to other places? We may see that. We may see ships outside that Persian Gulf start going other places. Go get oil, go get gas, go get natural gas.
Hey, thank you guys for subscribing to the channel, though. We're currently sitting at 8,750 subscribers. We're trying to get to 8,800 by the end of the night, so please subscribe to the channel. Just simply tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It really does help us out a lot, more than you guys realize, so don't forget to tap that subscribe button. Let's go.
Place else. And that could be a permanent, really, reduction in the production that comes out of this region. We're also watching the other impacts. We're seeing impacts in bunker fuel, the fuel for vessels going up. We're seeing aviation fuel going up. That's going to obviously impact air transport. And we saw, just today, obviously the impact diesel fuel is having around the world. So really, it's those kind of add-on, knock-on effects. 20% of global shipping, you're going to see an impact on, unfortunately, in the pocketbooks and in the wallets of everyone in the United States, but also worldwide.
Does it take just one vessel?
Dude, Trump is the man, by the way.
Potentially hitting a mine, having a snag there in the strait to back it up for some time. Is it just that possible?
Here's the thing, man. When was the last time anything got struck by a mine in the Strait of Hormuz? I am curious, legitimately, how often does that happen? I mean, it's probably going to happen more often now that Iran is just trying to make life miserable for everybody. I can see that happening. No, I'm pretty exhausted from all the winning too, man. Dude, Trump's the man, dude. Dude, Trump is the greatest president of all time. Enough said. Enough said, dude. Enough said. Trump is the GOAT, dude. Trump is the GOAT. Let's keep going. Hey, double tap the screen to like the stream one more time. Double tap the screen to like the stream. Let's go, baby.
Possible, that likely?
It is possible, but again, I go back to the tanker war of the 1980s where we had 411 ships hit, 55 lost, several hundred mariners killed. It's a very valuable area, the Persian Gulf. We had the diversion around the Red Sea, but there was a diversion area. We can go around Africa to do that. There really is no diversion around the Persian Gulf. Yes, there's a pipeline in Saudi Arabia. There's a pipeline through the UAE. But to get the bulk of the oil and the natural gas and the fertilizer, you got to head in through that strait. And I think we'll see it again.
A country like Iran has no right to defend itself because they've been funding terrorism for a very long time. At this point, Iran has no right to have a military. Iran has no right to any sort of defense, because they have constantly funded terrorism at their state level. So a weak Iran is a good Iran. Once again, a weak Iran is a good Iran. Just saying. That's the truth. That's my truth, at least. I want to see Iran weak as fuck. At least I want to see their military weak. I want to see their government weak. Because they have made life difficult for every other country around them consistently. So Iran is not good. Iran deserves to be weak militarily. That's the truth. But let's keep watching, man.
ships heading through there. Now, it could be really expensive. We'll see war risk go up for the ships, and we could see attacks. But let's not forget, the Iranians have been attacking ships now for almost a decade, going all the way back into the 2010s. We had some very visible attacks in 2019. They're still holding 2 Greek ships they grabbed back in 2022 in Bandar Abbas.
Damn, they're still, what?
So, I mean, this has been a long, ongoing conflict with Iran.
Yeah, and the U.S. saying they've taken out some...
Basically, Iran's been allowed to be a piece of crap for too long, and the U.S. decided to finally put its foot down. The U.S. was like, you know what? Iran has been a piece of crap for far too long. We just need to put an end to this right now. That's why I'm all for, you know, I'm not normally... normally, I'm not for war. But in this instance, Iran has been such a piece of garbage. I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all.
Mine-laying vessels, and this is the video from CENTCOM.
Let's see what else we got here. Okay, we're taking a left turn. We are taking a very sharp left turn on this particular stream. Okay, we're taking an unexpected left turn. We're gonna find out why do grown men become furries?
What's the deal? We're talking grown adults.
I'm scared of this, by the way.
With animal personas. And often expensive, elaborate costumes. And it's more than just a handful of odd people who found each other on the internet. Furries have conventions that draw in nearly 20,000 people. And
it's Furry Tuesday, by the way. I am so scared of the furry fandom.
There are hundreds of thousands of them worldwide, maybe more than 1 million, and that number's growing. We've seen glimpses of them in television.
Operation Epic Furry. Carborough Max says Operation Epic Furry. Oh my god. Yeah, we're taking a dark turn on this channel.
Television shows.
Also, make sure you guys tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. The more subscribers we get, the better. We're currently sitting at 8,750 subscribers. Once again, we're at 8,750 subscribers. I can't believe it, man. We are so close to 8,800, so please tap the subscribe button. It really does help the channel grow. Let's keep watching, man.
Playing for Taylor Swift and even dancing at a Mar-a-Lago fundraiser. The elephant in the room is that most people laugh it off and some recoil, but almost nobody bothers to ask, what's actually going on here?
It's a mental illness. The furry fandom is definitely a mental illness, and a lot of the people in the furry fandom are, let's just say, on the PDF side of things.
I'm Ken LaCourte. I spent a lot of hours digging into this one, and it was fascinating to research. Here's the fairest overview of furries that I can put together.
Yeah, all you need to know is there are a bunch of PDFs, but let's hear this guy out.
We'll first go through what the furry world actually is and how it got started. Then we'll look at who does this.
PDF files do this. That's what they do. PDFs. Uh-oh. Everything's frozen, dude. Hold on. Chrome is freezing on me, man. Shit. Hold on. Okay.
Inventions in the 1980s. And it was... before asking and answering what's the appeal to why people build entire identities around animal characters.
My fursona. Everybody, you guys got to figure out my fursona. What is the Michael Garza show fursona, by the way? Hey, Turian Charla, dude. Hey, thank you for sending the GOAT trophy for 1,000 jewels. Dude. Thank you. Hey, everybody, give a shout out to Turian Charla, by the way. Thank you for sending a GOAT trophy. Let me see if I can reply to that. I might be able to. Hold on. I'm going to try to reply to that on here. Everybody, big shout out. Thank you, everybody. Shout out to Turian Charla, by the way. Thank you for sending the GOAT, man. Everybody give a shout out to Turian Charla, everybody, for sending a GOAT trophy. Hell yeah. Now, we appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. We on this show, we love our... we love this shit, dude. But hey, thank you so much for sending that gift. I'm going to keep that up on the board for a bit. Yeah, thank you, Turian. I appreciate you. Everybody, Turian.Charla. Make sure you guys subscribe to Turian.Charla for being such a stud in sending a GOAT trophy. Fuck yeah. That's the coolest fucking... It's your fursona. I'm a GOAT. Oh, God, that's my fursona. Shit.
And finally consider, is it a problem?
Yes.
In the next...
Oh, my God, I think it's a problem. I think the furry fandom is kind of creepy in a lot of ways. That's just my personal opinion, but whatever.
Minutes, you're going to understand this world better than almost anyone who hasn't put on a fursuit.
Yeah, I don't want to understand this world. I don't want to. I'm afraid to understand this world.
So the furry world started, like a lot of subcultures, at science fiction conventions in the 1980s.
Of course it did. Of course it did.
It was fans of characters from Disney's Robin Hood, anime, and comics, anything featuring animals that acted like people. They started finding each other at conventions on the West Coast, and by the mid-'80s, they had a name.
I still think it's a mental illness, bro. I still think the furry fandom is a mental illness. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, though. We're at 8,749 subs. Once again, we're at 8,749 subs. Make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get to 8,800 subscribers by the end of the stream, so the more we could do, the better, man. The Zinc Roofer is a furry, dude. I think the Zinc Roofer is a furry. I think he's low-key a furry. That's what I'm thinking. What do you guys think, though? Do you guys think the Zinc Roofer's a furry? I think he is.
For what they were into, the furry fandom. In 1989, some of them decided to hold their own event, Conference Zero, at a Holiday Inn in Costa Mesa, California. It drew about 65 people. From there, it grew slowly throughout the 90s.
Tim Smith says he found a furry in his fridge. Turns out it was a 3-month-old chalupa. Dude, chalupas are so fucking good. I love chalupas. Tim Smith, everybody, the GOAT.
With conventions
the
pulling
legend.
In a few hundred people. Then the internet came along and changed everything. Online forums, art sharing sites, chat rooms, it let furries connect across the world, and the community exploded. Anthrocon, the biggest furry convention in the United States, saw its numbers jump from about 500 people in 1997 to 18,000 in 2024.
Jesus. Also, I think that when you spend too much time on the internet, that might be a problem. You may turn into a furry. That could be a side effect of hanging out on the internet a little too long.
It pumped about $16 million into Pittsburgh's economy. And it's not just that one event. There are major furry conventions on multiple continents with tens of thousands of attendees. So a lot of what I learned here about furries...
It's Furry Friday.
...comes from fur science. Social psychologists from multiple universities who've been studying the world for over 15 years, surveying tens of thousands of furries and publishing their results. So 2 things to let you know up front. First, fur science has a stated mission.
Furries are likely PDF files. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. I think that they're probably... that's my assumption. Now, I'm making some unfair assumptions about furries. If there's any furries in the chat, look, I don't mean to offend anybody. I just think that if you're a furry, chances are you might be a PDF file. 90% chance.
Of
just
countering
saying.
Stigma against furries. They see themselves as correcting media misinformation. And secondly, they're basically the only ones routinely researching this community. But beyond their PR goals, I really didn't see any red flags to their research.
First off, if you're a furry, if you are a furry, you are a walking red flag. Now, you have the right to be a walking red flag if you want to be. I'm just saying, don't let your kids around furries. That's all.
Okay, so what is a furry exactly? At its core, it's a subculture built around anthropomorphic animals. That's the concept of giving human qualities to animals.
Fuck?
So furries are people who are really into animals that walk, talk, and act like humans. And it goes further than being just a fan. Nearly all furries create what's called...
Oh, it's a very disgusting sexual community, but there is the fursona that I know, unfortunately.
Called the fursona.
Oh, God. So... ugh.
Personalized animal character to represent them. Like an avatar, but one that some spend years developing. In fact, nearly half of furries have had only one fursona their entire time in the fandom. So these aren't just some throwaway screen names. The most popular ones, wolves lead the pack, making up a little over 20% of fursonas.
Oh, God. There's like no originality in these furry things.
Dragons and foxes are the next most popular.
The art's good, but
dogs,
like they're all
cats,
copying
and
each other.
Mythical creatures fill out the rest. Each fursona comes with a detailed personality, backstory, and visual designs. Okay, so the element that most outsiders noticed first are the fursuits. Big, elaborate animal costumes. Interestingly,
God, so
only
creepy.
about 15% of furries actually own one.
So wait, they're renting these? So only about 15% of furries... So wait, are they renting these and then yiffing in these and then sending them back with jizz stains on them? They're yiffing. They're getting into their yiffing piles. Turian says, I personally think the Pillsbury Doughboy is a furry. You know what? You're probably right, bro. You're probably right.
A custom full-body suit costs thousands of dollars. Some have animatronic jaws, built-in cooling fans, even LED eyes. They can be impressive pieces of craftsmanship, but most furries don't buy something that complex. About a quarter own a partial suit. A head, paws, and tail worn over regular clothes. Others clip on a tail or wear animal ears to conventions, and a large chunk of the community is just online, skipping the fur altogether. Most furries make or buy artworks of their character, and conventions feature art shows, dealer rooms, dances, and panels on everything from fursuit construction to creative.
Yeah, a lot of it's like... I think it's a lot of gay men. I think the furry fandom is filled with very horny gay men. That's what I'm thinking, dude. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking, and nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Creative writing. It's a sprawling subculture with its own social norms and its own creative ecosystem. But to really understand what's really going on here, we need to look first at the people behind this. But before we get to that, I want to talk about today's sponsor and something that might be a blind spot to your retirement planning. When you look at your retirement account, you're looking at numbers on a screen. But what are those numbers actually tied to? For most people, they're tied 100% to the stock market, which sometimes keeps up with inflation and other times doesn't. Gold is different. It's a real-life asset.
For the most part, if you play the volatility right of the stock market, you can actually keep up with inflation. So, which is why I keep a little bit of a stockpile of cash to the side. So, I mean, I'm a swing trader by trade, and I'm good at swing trading. I understand the markets really well. I'm very lucky about that. I understand what you need to do when things are down. I understand what you need to do when things are up. If the markets are down, I start loading up on different ETFs. And then when the markets go back up, I start, offloading the ETFs that I got into for a profit. So my goal is to always profit whenever I can. And that's the way I do it, man. Brokeback Nation. Oh, God. Brokeback Mountain, baby.
And you don't have to buy just shares of gold. You can buy actual gold bars or coins that sit in a secure depository under your name. And gold doesn't depend on a CEO's decisions or a company's core.
I do love gold ETFs, though. Gold ETFs are very convenient, and it makes it to where I don't have to hold any of the gold myself. I love stocks, though, because stocks are a productive asset. And actually, stocks do a really good job of keeping up with inflation. I think it's kind of a myth that gold keeps up with inflation overall. This guy is failing to account for the dividends that you receive from the holdings that you have. So I think it's good to own stocks. If you want gold exposure, though, I think it's good to own gold mining stocks. And look, I think it's good to be hyper diversified. It's good to have gold, silver, stocks, bonds, real estate. You name it, man.
Quarterly earnings. When governments decide to cover their debt by printing more money, gold doesn't inflate away. That's why a lot of people are diversifying part of their retirement into physical gold. Today's sponsor, Augusta Precious Metals, they've been around over a decade, helping people understand how gold IRAs work. They're known for education, not sales pressure. They show you how to roll over your existing IRA or 401k into physical gold without tax penalties. So your gold IRA gets the same tax advantages as a traditional IRA. I researched them thoroughly, and I found excellent feedback.
Who makes my trades? I make all my own trades. I make all my own trades from a brokerage account. It's not hard. I keep a lot of my money sitting in my brokerage account, and then I just add that money to different various ETFs. I buy them low, and then I sell them high at a profit. I only get into very volatile asset classes like small cap ETFs, like small cap stocks. I use ETFs specifically, but yeah, I make all my own trades. I mean, I use a brokerage account. I mean, the brokerage account technically executes them. I mean, I make the decision to make them go through, I guess, but I do own real estate investment trusts, yes. That's about the closest thing I have to real estate is my real estate investment trust, but that's about the extent of it. I don't go any further than that.
They're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. They don't just sell you a product and disappear. They're there for questions and guidance throughout. Augusta offers a free guide that breaks down how it works and whether it makes sense for your situation. It's not pressure. It's just information you can use to make your own decision. Get it by going to kenforgold.com or by texting RETIRE to 35052. This is about having options and making smart choices about your future. Check out the free guide, kenforgold.com, or text RETIRE to 35052 today. Okay, so back to furries. We know a bit about what they do, but now let's look at the people.
So Turian is saying 40 beers and 2 shots of whiskey a day keeps the furries away. Honestly, I disagree with that statement. I think that's a formula to keep the furries coming in. I think that that's a formula to become a furry. That sounds like a formula to become one. I'm not liking that.
Themselves. I mean, who does this? Multiple surveys over the year all paint a similar picture. The average furry is in their early to mid-20s, and a majority first got into it before
early
they
to
turned
mid-20s, really?
For a lot of them, it wasn't some quirky hobby they picked up as adults, but something that became part of how they saw themselves during their formative years. The furry world is mainly male. About 2/3 to 3/4 are men.
That's what I thought, because only... Look, there's some men out there that are just too dumb. Too dumb. And they get into stupid shit like furries. They get into stupid crap like furries. They do. Thank you, Carl. I appreciate you, bro.
Depending on the survey, with a bit over 10% of furries identifying themselves as transgender or non-binary, which is about 10 times.
Of course, that makes perfect sense. Go figure, mental illness, right? Go
higher
figure.
Than the general population. Racially, in America, it's.
Tim Smith says, bought a jar of pickles made with artisan well water. 2026 is my year.
Overwhelmingly white. Over 80% in every study I saw.
Yeah, because I swear to Christ, man, it seems like it's only young, dumb white people. Young, dumb white people get into the furry fandom way too much. It's because they got nothing better to do with their lives, dude.
Globally, about half are in North America.
And all they do is feel guilty about being white.
Big chunk in Europe and a growing number in Asia. And they're well educated. Among American furries.
Well educated? So furries over 25 years old, 53% of them had a college degree. How much do you want to bet it was a college degree in liberal arts? Because I can't believe that many smart people. Well, then again, smart people are dumb with money, so I guess that makes some sense. They're probably dumb with life decisions too.
Over 25 years old, 53% had a college degree, which is a good chunk higher than non-furries. There's also a heavy overlap with computers and tech, with a quarter of them having a degree in computer-related fields. During the
that makes sense.
.com boom, some Silicon Valley firms even recruited at furry conventions. When we look at sexual orientation,
a lot of them are on the gay side.
Across multiple studies, they self-report substantially higher rates of non-heterosexual orientation. A UC Davis study found only 33% said
there's a site called WikiFur.
they were
God.
heterosexual. And other surveys showed it as low as 20%. The rest identify all across the entire spectrum.
The autistic spectrum.
And about 3/4 of furries in relationships have partners who are also furries. So this isn't just something that they do on weekends. For many, it's where their closest relationships exist. And then I ran into another factor that I had no idea of before researching this. Autism. First Science says that somewhere...
I just said autism, yep. Yeah, is there a connection between autism and furry fandom? Abso-fucking-lutely. Because you have to be I think you have to be heavily autistic to be into furries. I really do. There's a certain level of autism, I think, that goes into it.
Between 4% and 15% of furries report being on the autism spectrum.
I think it's 100% is what it should be.
Depending on the study and how the question was asked. If you compare that to the government's autism estimates of roughly 2% of Americans, it implies a rate that's 2 to 7 times higher than the general population. So
that's crazy, man. So you're telling me that 1 out of 10 furries is autistic? I want to say that all of them are. I think majority are. I think I'm sorry, but you have to be autistic, in my opinion, to be attracted to being a furry. And I'm autistic, but I don't want to be a furry, though. I'm autistic, but I don't want to be a furry.
Clear patterns of the people who are in this world. Young, more male, less heterosexual, more on the spectrum. I think it's fair to say that it points to a community built by and for people who didn't quite fit in anywhere else. That's who they are.
That makes sense.
Let's look at the why. What's the appeal to these people in creating an animal persona? The overwhelming origin story, according to researcher after researcher, is some version of, I never fit in. First Science surveys consistently find that furries report having felt different for most of their lives. Many struggled socially in school. They were bullied at rates almost double the general population.
That I do feel bad about, by the way. Look, I'm not out here to make... Look, if you are actually a furry... I don't know. The problem is with the furry fandom is it just seems like there's a lot of PDF activity, is what I'm going to say. And it sucks that these kids were bullied, and they were bullied so hard that they decided to become furries to hide from the world. I get that. Feelings of isolation. Yeah, I get that completely.
And for many of them,
I just never became a furry as a result. That's all.
The mainstream social world was a place where they just kept getting it wrong. But the internet can let people build an identity from scratch, choosing communities based on interests rather than where they live or where they go to school. Subcultures have always done this to some degree, but furries take it a step further. They don't just join a group, they create an alternate self. That's the fursona, and it does more psychological work than most people realize. When researchers ask furries to rate their fursona's personality traits alongside their own, the pattern is consistent. Fursonas are rated as more confident, more outgoing, more playful, and less anxious. That's telling. The fursona is who they want to be. And furries who feel that they're actually becoming more like their fursona, closing the gap between their real self and their ideal self, they report higher self-esteem and better overall well-being. It's not pure escapism, but more like an aspirational identity. The shy kid who plays a confident wolf at conventions sometimes becomes more...
I think it could be used as a crutch. I think it gets used as a crutch more than anything. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. But anyway, okay, I'm done. I feel dirty and disgusting after watching that. I feel dirty and disgusting after watching that. Okay. Give me a few seconds, though. Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene. There's a runoff.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. I'm Shauna Kalafi. A live look right now at Rome, Georgia, as voters in Northwest Georgia headed to the polls to choose who will succeed Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Uh-oh, what's going to happen, man? What's going to happen?
Her seat has been vacant since she resigned back in January after a falling out with President Trump. But tonight, two top voter getters emerge from...
So Tim Smith wants me to react to some police body cams. And then Larson Christopher, what's up, Brony? So check out police body cams. All right. Let's take a look. Let me type in police body cams. What the hell? I don't know if I want to react to all this trash. Oh, man. I don't know if I feel like reacting to body cam videos at the moment, but I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it, but let's see here. Okay, next in line, who's the 2028 favorite, dude?
And John Ashbrook, co-host of the Ruthless podcast. Great to have both of you with us. Welcome, guys. Michael, let me start with you. What's your sort of top level?
Okay, that guy's looking a little too excited. That guy has a very, very horny look on his face.
Reaction to this back and forth. We've all heard it in venues, near and far from the president.
Well, President Trump used to be on television and have a show called The Apprentice. So I'm not surprised that he absolutely loves this opportunity to sort of feel it out with donors and say, oh, do you like Marco? Oh, do you like Jade?
Hey, thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. We're currently sitting pretty at 8,749 subscribers. Once again, we're at 8,749 subs. So don't forget to tap the subscribe button, as it does help the channel grow a lot. Midwest Safety has good body cam vids. Man. I'm not really, normally I don't really like watching body cam videos for the most part. I'm not really, I guess that's something, I'll watch it if it's like major news or something like that, but for the most part, it's just usually like some lady getting pissed and totally being a Karen in public or something, So I don't know. Usually not my cup of tea, but make sure you guys double tap the screen to like the stream. Once again, double tap the screen to like the stream. Let's keep going, man. Let's keep rolling.
I mean, this is what he's made his career doing. So, my only prediction, I don't know who it's going to be, is that it's not going to end anytime soon, because I have the feeling Donald Trump enjoys this.
It's interesting, John. We're so in this moment of these foreign, clashes, a war in Iran and the movement in Venezuela. Listen to this soundbite from the president on whether the vice president disagreed with them on striking Iran. Watch.
In Iran. I don't think so, no. No, we get along very well on this. He was, I would say, philosophically a little bit different than me. I think he was maybe less enthusiastic about going, but he was quite enthusiastic.
What's your interpretation of that, John?
I'm not too sure what to interpret on that, but let's keep watching.
Well, first of all, Martha, J.D. Vance has a track record of saying that we should go very far to stop Iran from developing nuclear weapons, and his position now is consistent with the position he's had the entire time. But I want to add something based on your first question. I worked in the Senate for 10 years. I worked on campaigns for 10 years. And there is always this natural tension between the never-ending demand for news about the next campaign and the requirement to fulfill the obligations that the voters expected you to do. And in this case, we're talking about 15 months ago. And when you think about...
Dude, give me J.D. Vance, dude. J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio. Vance for the presidency and Marco Rubio for vice president. That's what I want to see ultimately. I think that would be great. I think that'd be amazing. It's exactly what I want to see, man. I'm all for J.D. Vance, man.
These two guys, they seem like two guys who are laser focused on doing the job that people put them in charge and entrusted them to do. And I think there's going to be plenty of time to talk about 2028. And then Michael pointed out there's going to be plenty of chatter about it between now and then. But I do think that these guys are focused on the task at hand, which is making sure that Iran does not rise back up with their missiles, with their nuclear weapons. And it's a very serious thing.
Well, a couple of things on that. One is that the president does often bring it up himself. He clearly enjoys this conversation because he loves politics. He loves the election cycle, and he's always looking, as a chess player, like several moves ahead. I also would just say that it's very easy to imagine that the news cycle, changes dramatically at some point and turns back to issues that might be more favorable or more in the ballpark for the vice president and may make him appear to be the front runner at some point as we move forward here. I asked him about that just a couple of weeks ago when he was here with us on the Story Watch.
Yeah.
Do you wish that he would just say, he's my vice president? Of course he's going to be at the top of the ticket.
Well, I think the president is very smartly saying, we've got 3 years to go. And how about everybody?
Absolutely. Still got 3 years to go, man. Hey, Loki, thank you so much. Oh, he's comboing, dude. ×2, ×3, ×4, ×5. Thank you, Loki, for the gifts. I really appreciate it, my brony brother. Any gifts that we get, we greatly treasure these. They do help the channel grow in a lot of ways. So any gifts you guys want to give, it really does help us quite a bit. So I appreciate you guys for even taking the time to give a gift at all. Yeah, these virtual gifts help in more ways than one. You guys are keeping the show funded. You guys are keeping the show organic. And I love you guys for doing that. Thank you.
Focuses on the job the American people elected us to do rather than something that is very far in the future.
Michael, clearly they would like to put this farther in the future. But your thoughts on sort of what I just said as we led into that soundbite?
Well, yeah, I think in the same way that Marco Rubio is probably the best voice of Donald Trump's foreign policies, very articulate on everything that Donald Trump's trying to accomplish in Iran, J.D. Vance is the voice of the forgotten man and woman in America that are part of Donald Trump's coalition. I think as issues shift to the domestic front, you're going to see J.D. Vance shine like he always does.
Yeah, and we've seen the president sort of say, suggest it'd be great if they ran together because he feels like they both have such strengths. It's also, let's look at these talking points from Democrats on Iran real quick. Number 4, let's play that.
There seems to be...
Yeah, give me Vance and Rubio 2028, man. If you guys want J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio to be running mates in 2028, tap the subscribe button because I want them to win as well. I think that they would be one of the best presidential tickets of all time. I really do. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, though, if you can. It really does help the channel grow. The more subscribers we get, the better. It really does help.
No end game.
I'm not sure what the end game is or what their plans are. They certainly have not made their case.
I'm very worried about how long this will drag on. We are hearing no logical estimates about when it will be over.
I mean, it's sort of nonsensical when you look at the way this is moving forward. Is it 10 days in, John? But quick thought on that before we got to go.
Right. Democrats are always going to have their talking points. The fact of the matter is, for 47 years, the Iranian regime killed Americans and caused terror all over the world. And this is the first administration with the courage to actually stop them.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Yeah, dude. Go Daddy Trump, bro. Daddy Trump, baby. Nah, I love Trump, dude. I think Trump's amazing. If you guys think Trump is amazing, tap the subscribe button. Tap the like button as well. The more likes, the more subscribes we get, the better. It does help the channel in more ways than one. Let's keep going, man.
John, great to see you guys, the Ruthless Podcast co-hosts. Thanks for coming.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
Okay, let's take a look here. Oh, no. We got our boy, Adam Livingston. Let's just...
Hello, everybody. My name is Adam Livingston.
By the way, this guy's a total chud. I don't think I could last more than 5 minutes with this guy sexually. No, but let's take a listen and see the wisdom that this Bitcoin shill... By the way, Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. Don't forget that.
And I am the Bitcoin Wizard. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest story.
You're a Bitcoin lizard. That's what you are.
In finance right now, and there isn't even a close second place. And this entire thing is happening while the crowd is staring at the wrong spreadsheet. They're looking at oil as if that's interesting. Because of the Bitcoin price correction, people continue to talk about strategy like it's some quirky...
This guy is a super grifter, by the way. He's a Bitcoin grifter. But yeah, he's a super Bitcoin grifter. He sucks. Whoa, Joanna Dinsdale sent a 6'7". I'll do it. You chuds 6'7". Doing the 6'7" dance. I'm doing this for you guys. I'm doing the 6'7" dance for you guys. All right. I appreciate it. Thank you for the 6'7", though. I'm going to keep that up on the board for a little bit.
Public company with a Bitcoin habit, and that's all. But that framing is really just adorable. What's actually happening here is a lot more profound if you're not paying attention. Strategy has built a financial conversion engine. It's taking demand from different...
I love how he calls it a financial conversion engine. What strategy is doing is greater fool theory. It's greater fool theory on steroids. That's all Bitcoin is. So if you think about it, Micro Penis Strategies, the company, is totally screwing over its investors. Right? Screwing. Oh, and Joanna, I really want to thank you again for that 6-7. It does help the channel grow in more ways than one, so I want to thank you big time for being a stud, for being a true brony warrior. I do appreciate the bronyisms. We got lots of bronies. So make sure you guys subscribe to Joanna Dinsdale. Appreciate you, brony man. Thank you for that 6-7 again. I really do appreciate it, man. But no, I'm going to tell you, though, that Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme straight up, man.
Sectors of the
Bitcoin
capital
is
markets,
absolutely a Ponzi
and it's
scheme.
wrapping it in securities that the public already understands, and it's sending the proceeds straight into Bitcoin faster than anybody. And if you've been paying any attention, you would understand that Bitcoin is the scarcest monetary asset ever.
It's not scarce. It's not scarce. Just because there's 21 million Bitcoin on a blockchain that was created artificially by a programmer, the scarcity is artificially generated through the program itself. Artificial scarcity is not real scarcity. Artificial scarcity is bullshit. Bitcoin is financial trash. I don't care if there's only 1 Bitcoin ever, or 1 million Bitcoin, or 21 million. Bitcoin will always be shit. I repeat, Bitcoin will always be garbage. Hot garbage. It's not an asset. It's not worth anything. It has an intrinsic value of 0. No, crypto's here to stay, but crypto's going to be worth $0 for the rest of its entire existence. Look, cryptocurrency is going to go to near 0. It deserves to go to near 0 because anything with an intrinsic value of 0 eventually goes to 0. I repeat, anything with an intrinsic value of 0 eventually goes to 0.
Invented or not invented, it's the scarcest asset ever. The pace of Bitcoin accumulation this week is going to cause a supply shock. We just need to look at the scale of what is happening right now. I used the first 2.5 hours of today's trading day to crunch these numbers right here. In the first...
Sean Lon, thank you for sending a laughing disco for 250 joules. Everybody give a shout out to Sean Lon 71. Thank you so much, Sean. I appreciate you, brony. Thank you for the gift, man. Everybody subscribe to Sean Lon 71. Check him out. Thank you for the laughing disco for 250 joules. You're my man, dude. You're my stud. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
2.5 hours of the trading day today stretched.
We're here just to make fun of Bitcoin right now because Bitcoin sucks. Bitcoin is clickcoin. I think we all can agree upon that. We can all agree that Bitcoin is garbage, hot garbage.
Laugh out loud.
W360 Global Intelligence, BTC will not go to 0.
I think Bitcoin's going to 0. I don't care what you say, King Elan of Israel. I'm gonna put your name back up on the board real quick. Let's listen to King Elaine of Israel. Let's listen to his super chat one more time.
Laugh out loud.
W360 Global Intelligence, BTC will not go to 0.
Why are you so confident about that? It may not go to 0 exactly, because there's always going to be idiots who believe in Bitcoin. But I believe that Bitcoin is going to go to near 0 levels. It's going to go to about $1 or $2 per coin, per Bitcoin. $1 to $2 per Bitcoin is my price projection for the price of Bitcoin overall. Sean Lon says, haven't been on here in a while. Bitcoin is trash. Absolutely, Sean Lon. We all know it. We all know that at the end of the day, Bitcoin is garbage, but we do enjoy watching morons like Adam Livingston tell us or educate us on how great Bitcoin is. Ooh. No, but Bitcoin sucks. No, actually, I didn't miss out on anything. In fact, it's because I bet against Bitcoin that I was able to make a lot of money. And also, I got into Bitcoin really early as well. So not only did I get into Bitcoin early, I also started betting against it when it got to about $100,000 per Bitcoin. I think it's always a good idea to bet against Bitcoin when it goes to all-time highs. Because we all know that Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme, and that eventually people will sell off at massive scales because Bitcoin has no intrinsic value. And because Bitcoin has no intrinsic value, it makes logical, perfect sense to not want to be any part of it. Because we all know that Bitcoin sucks, is all I'm trying to say. It's all I'm trying to get at, dude. I'm trying to let you guys know, trying to educate you guys that Bitcoin sucks. Is that wrong? Is that wrong? I don't think it's wrong, man. I think I'm on the right track here. That's all, man.
Alone accounted for 949 Bitcoin acquired. This is approximate, assuming that Strategy is raising about 48% of the capital that trades above the $100 level for Stretch, and then the approximate issuance of MSTR maintaining their same amplification rate on the balance sheet. So essentially, it's napkin math, but it's really close. They need to issue about 2 shares of MSTR for every 1 share of Stretch. So if they're going to maintain their amplification, that means that you take the 949 Bitcoin that they're getting from the Stretch issuance in just 2.5 hours. If that isn't crazy enough, you double that and you're getting...
The USD sucks more.
Well, actually, I would say that the US dollar and Bitcoin suck almost equally. I will say the dollar. The dollar is at least backed by the US military, and the dollar is at least made of something. Granted, I don't believe in the dollar. The dollar has an intrinsic value of 0, and Bitcoin has an intrinsic value of 0. So in theory, not just in theory, in practice, in practicality, Bitcoin has an intrinsic value of 0. The dollar has an intrinsic value of 0. Therefore, the dollar and Bitcoin should be both classified as fiat currency. Cryptocurrency and physical currency these days are fiat currencies because they're not backed by anything at all. When something is not backed by anything at all, I don't really consider the U.S. military backing the dollar to be a form of intrinsic value, but we'll say it is for the moment. I don't believe in Bitcoin and I don't believe in the dollar. The dollar is worthless. Bitcoin is absolutely worthless. Bitcoin has an intrinsic value of 0. There is no reason to hold on to Bitcoin. Yeah, here's the thing, though. It does reduce the market value over time, because anything with an intrinsic value of 0 eventually goes to 0. Does that make sense? So it may have a market value for the moment. Bitcoin may have a market value. Even the dollar may have a market value. But at the end of the day, they're both intrinsically worthless. So eventually, anything with an intrinsic worth of 0 eventually goes to 0. So that includes cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are a part of that. Larson Christopher says the USD intrinsic value was the petrodollar backed by the military. Absolutely. For that time. Saint Peter, what's up, dude? We got Saint Peter in the house, man. Saint Peter, I don't believe that's factually true, but whatever. I'll give you an example. Gold and silver. On the surface, it seems like gold and silver would have what would be the intrinsic value of gold and silver? Well, gold and silver have utility. The utility in itself is the intrinsic value. The fact that you can use silver in electronics, for example, or in medical practices. Gold can be used in jewelry. Gold can be used as a conductor. Gold is super malleable. There are so many principles and there are so many properties of these metals that have usefulness and value and value in real life. So it does matter. I'm a huge fan of intrinsic value. So yeah, anything with an intrinsic value of 0 eventually does go to 0. That is the truth, man. And Bitcoin is no exception. The dollar is no exception. One of the reasons I don't save the dollar, and I don't save cryptocurrencies either, because cryptocurrencies are all worthless, is they eventually go to 0, even if it takes a little bit of time. I only invest in things that have intrinsic value. I only swing trade things that have intrinsic value. That's the only time. The only things I swing trade are things with actual intrinsic value. I swing trade silver. I swing trade gold. This is not financial advice, by the way. I swing trade small cap index funds, U.S. and international ones, respectively. It's beautiful, man. No, but I'm able to make a good amount of money doing that stuff.
Getting almost 2,000 Bitcoin from MSTR and the total between them both in 2.5 hours. That's correct. 150 minutes, they are acquiring almost 3,000 Bitcoin. So you're looking at 2,847 Bitcoin acquired in a tiny sliver of one trading day, and still nobody knows what STRC even is. That is a staggering amount of demand compression into Bitcoin in a window shorter than a long lunch in...
Strategy is so stupid, dude. Michael Saylor is probably the griftiest CEO of all time. Michael Saylor is a super grifter. And I think we all know that Michael Saylor is the griftiest of all the grifters. Saint Pinor, I'm not gonna share that, dude. I have no reason to share that Saint Pinor at all, dude. I have no idea what you're talking about, brother. I appreciate you, though. Saint Pinor, you're one of my favorite people on this channel, but I have no idea what you're talking about right now, bro. I have zero clue what you're even referring to, but I do respect the hell out of your bussy, all right? But yeah, the US dollar sucks, but Bitcoin sucks even more than the US dollar, and I'm not even a fan of the US dollar. I think the US dollar is intrinsically worthless as well. Michael Saylor's such a fool, dude. Larson Christopher started gold at $350 an ounce and silver. Hell yeah, dude. The people need to know, says St. Peter. I don't care. St. Pinor, man, you're killing me, bro. I have no idea what you're talking about, man, but let's keep watching.
Manhattan. And this is the part that should make every single serious investor sit up straight. This is not some random whale slapping the ass because he watched 3 podcasts and somehow discovered Austrian economics last Thursday. This is recurring. This is instant.
Austrian economics is kind of bullshit. If Austrian economics is promoting an idea like Bitcoin, they're fucking idiots.
Institutionalized. This is balance sheet mediated demand of Bitcoin. This is the Wall Street paper being transmuted into Bitcoin.
All right, what the hell? So King Elaine of Israel is saying at Real Garza, here's our firm's recommendations. Watch the market and see if we are correct. Long calls, BTC, Hilton, gold, silver, XRP, Palantir, NVIDIA, short calls, Tesla, MAR, and Microsoft. I don't know if you're correct, brother. I have zero clue, man. I got no clue, bro. No idea.
Bitcoin reserves through a repeatable public market process. This is the machine that Saylor built, and nothing is slowing it down. Now, this is why it matters so much, because we know that Bitcoin has always had...
Ain't nothing gonna slow down Michael Saylor. We love Michael Saylor. Make sure you guys give Zaddy a gift. The more gifts we get, the better. It does help the channel grow. It helps my schlangus grow. My schlangus. So anything to help my dong grow, better.
At a fixed supply. That's day one stuff, okay? The missing ingredient, though, was a corporate architecture capable of channeling the outside capital into a fixed supply at industrial scale like this.
Thank
Strategy
you,
is building that
Adam
exact
Livingston. I
architecture
cannot
in plain
live without
sight.
your.
You could argue it's already been
insight,
built
bro.
due to the success right now. I am predicting that Strategy buys about 30,000 Bitcoin this week alone, about 6,000 Bitcoin per day. You heard me correctly. So we have Stretch pulling in the investors who want the 11.5% yield with extremely low volatility, and MSTR is preserving the torque, the amplification of Bitcoin, the volatility players, the glorious psychotic upside that any equity investor should crave. Different wrappers, same destination, all of it leads to more Bitcoin. You realize that thousands upon thousands of all potential future whole coiners of Bitcoin are being eviscerated, vaporized every single day by Strategy, every single hour. This is a machine that can
Micro wiener strategies
cannot be stopped, and that is why I say it is the biggest story in all of finance.
You cannot stop micro wiener strategies.
This is the great orange singularity. I've been telling you.
Oh God, this guy's on drugs, allegedly. He has to be.
Laugh out loud.
I'll be back in a few weeks to check the results. Cheers, brother, and thanks for the lovely lively debate. Yours truly, CEO at W360 Global.
Hey, thank you so much. It's an honor, King Elaine of Israel. I just want to say thank you for the super chat, by the way. Let me reply to that real quick. So King Elan says, I'll be back in a few weeks to check the results. Cheers, brother, and thanks for the lovely, lively debate. Yours truly, CEO at W360 Global. Thanks for the info. I hope all of your positions are fruitful and prosperous. Even if I don't agree with all of them. LOL. Hey, let me put King Elaine back on the board real quick.
Loud.
I'll be back in a few weeks to check the results. Cheers, brother, and thanks for the lovely lively debate. Yours truly, CEO at W360 Global.
Make sure you guys, this is not an endorsement of King Elaine of Israel, but I want you guys to check out, I hope you guys check out his fund or his company. I hope he does really well. I have been betting against Bitcoin very much. So I bet against Bitcoin using leveraged ETFs. I can't help it, man. I just think that Bitcoin's intrinsically worthless, and that's just the way I see it. I mean, the more I study Bitcoin, the more I realize it's completely worthless. But I do want to see you successful, King Elaine. So I do hope your positions are fruitful and excellent. I really do hope they prosper. I just don't agree with Bitcoin, man. I just think Bitcoin it's just something that I can't really get behind at the end of the day. But I do appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. I'm going to keep that up on the board for a little bit so I could cover up Adam Livingston's grotesque demeanor.
You guys for months. Now we are watching it play out in real time. The market is watching the birth of a new demand pipeline for Bitcoin, one that is absorbing capital from all...
The only birth is coming out of my butthole. It's all coming out of my beehole, dude.
different kinds of investor classes at the same time, whether it's the yield junkies or the equity people. And right now, most of the world still thinks that this is a Ponzi scheme or a gimmick.
It is a Ponzi scheme. It is a gimmick. Bitcoin participates in greater fool theory. It is a Ponzi scheme by all definitions. The only difference is there really is no centralized leadership, so you could say it's a decentralized form. It's a Ponzi scheme in a decentralized format, which is actually quite brilliant, but it does participate in greater fool theory. Basically, new naive investors have to buy the Bitcoin that you bought at a higher price. So basically, who is the greater fool is really the question when it comes to Bitcoin. If I buy Bitcoin at $100,000 and then everybody starts selling, and then the price of Bitcoin and its market value is at like 70,000, right? I become the greater fool in that instance. King Elaine of Israel says, wait, maybe 2022. But in my highlights tab is the NBC News article covering my reports to them about one of Musk's associates, Mario Newfall, all under my more normal birth name instead of my Hebrew name. Okay. Hey, King Elaine, I appreciate you, bro. I'm going to keep your super chat on the board anyway so people can check you out. By the way, not financial advice, just for educational and entertainment purposes only. Always keep that in mind. Let's keep going.
They think that this is just a weird treasury strategy. Let me ask you this. How many companies in the world can just raise $300 million per day? That's correct. $300 million per day. Companies that sell...
Wait a minute. Are you saying that... How the hell is strategy raising $300 million a day? Who the hell is giving Michael Saylor that kind of money? Like, seriously, what kind of bank is stupid enough to lend money to Michael Saylor? Oh, you know what? None of them are. You know what Michael Saylor is probably doing, allegedly? He's probably issuing new stock and selling it. Further diluting the shares of Micro Wiener Strategy so he could pay his stupid dividend for his other stupid fund that he created. He makes me sick, dude. Michael Saylor makes me sick. He really makes me sick to my stomach. I think he's not a good dude. I think he's screwing over his shareholders. He's deliberately created a Ponzi scheme. Like, Micro Penis Strategy is basically a Ponzi scheme at this point. I don't know how anybody could fall for Michael Saylor, man. I mean, he's sexy, don't get me wrong, but I don't understand how anybody could fall for the gimmick.
Sell products can't even make $300 million a day in profit. And all strategy has to do is continue to have digital credit sales and to sell the amplified equity, because this is the pipeline into the great orange Bitcoin singularity.
The
anyway, I'm
great
gonna get
orange
into the math
Bitcoin singularity. What a chud.
That's going to blow your mind even further. But before
my mind is not blown.
I do, I really want to take a quick moment to thank the sponsor of the Bitcoin Wizard, good old Horizon. Go to joinhorizon.com. These guys are totally awesome.
No, these guys are a total scam. Convert your home equity into Bitcoin. That's what this is promoting. So basically, it's saying that, hey, why don't you borrow against your home equity like a fucking moron, and then when you borrow against your home equity, you know what you're going to do with that, the loan that you're going to take out? Oh, guess what? It's going into Bitcoin. So yeah, take your home equity and convert it into a Ponzi scheme. That's what he's telling you to do, dude. That's what this guy's telling you to do.
A bunch of Bitcoin maxis, they want to help you take your trapped home equity to buy Bitcoin. That's correct. You can...
This is some Bitcoin grifter shit that I'm not all on board with, dude. This is some Bitcoin grifter shit that pisses me off.
The Bitcoin dip before Michael Saylor just buys all of the scarce finance.
Oh, God. Michael Saylor can suck it. Michael Saylor is a frickin' moron, dude, and he's manipulating the markets. He's manipulating the Bitcoin markets on purpose.
asset, you can take your trapped home equity value that gets eviscerated by inflation. They help you take it to buy Bitcoin, and what a glorious thing that is. And there are no monthly payments that you have to make. You get to retain home ownership, no term limits, and no income requirements either. Your trapped home equity...
It's a scam, dude. Scam.
That's sitting there into Bitcoin, and you can hold it however you want to. And technically, you could buy Stretch or MSTR if you wanted to as well. Go to joinhorizon.com. These people are awesome. They will help you every single step of the way. Joinhorizon.com. Link is in the description below. I will talk more about them at the end of the video.
So fucking ridiculous, dude. So effing ridiculous. Beyond
Now
ridic.
let's talk about the pace, because this is where the whole thing stops sounding bullish on Bitcoin and starts sounding chemical.
He's only a billionaire because micropenis, the equity that he owns. So Michael Saylor owns equity in his own company, right? Well, his company has a massive market cap. So yes, technically Michael Saylor is a billionaire because of Micro Wiener Strategies market cap. For now. Here's the thing, though. Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme, and it's going to keep going down and down and down. You know what? Let's look at Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor's an insane person. Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor. He is the man. This is so funny.
If Bitcoin falls 90% for the next 4 years, we'll refinance the debt.
Refinance where, Michael?
We'll just roll it forward. I mean, again.
But you think banks would lend to you at that point?
Yeah, no bank is going to lend to Michael Saylor because they'd be morons if they did. In fact, any bank who's ever lent money to Michael Saylor is a fucking moron.
Yeah, because the volatility of Bitcoin is such that there's always going to be value. Look, you're at 68,000 right now. Literally has to fall to 8,000. Then we just refinance the debt. If you think it's going to zero, then we'll deal with that. But I don't think it's going to zero, and I don't think it's going to 8,000 either. But the credit risk is...
Dude, he is such a moron.
...de minimis at this point.
That's so stupid. Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme, dude. Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. Okay, one moment. How you guys doing? I'm probably going to go to bed here in just a little bit. But I do want to thank everybody for taking the time to to view the channel. All the super chats were very helpful too. I appreciate my boy, dude. So I'm not doing StreamYard at the moment. And last time we tried doing that stupid video ninja thing, it ended up failing. But I'll tell you what. Do you have stream? Trying to think if there's an alternative. So that video ninja thing kind of was really tough to get to work, and it was a pain in the butt. So I'm not using StreamYard tonight, but I'm trying to think if there's an alternative real quick to find a way to get you on here. I've just got to think real fast. I was going to say there's a possibility. There's a possibility that we might be able to do a show tomorrow night. I just got to make sure that I use StreamYard tomorrow night. But yeah, tonight we don't have StreamYard enabled. We're just using straight up Streamlabs desktop. And like I said, whenever I use Video Ninja, it just doesn't seem to work. It's so dumb. But yeah, tomorrow I was gonna say I could always come on at around if you're available at some point tomorrow evening, Mr. Tim, I could always try to get you on tomorrow. If that's all good. Because yeah, tonight I'm just using Streamlabs, and that's a pain in the butt when it comes getting people like guests and stuff on. But yeah, I was gonna say tomorrow I could do it. Like tomorrow in the evening time, I could always do a StreamYard vertical live if you're willing. If you're feeling it tomorrow, that is. If you're able to. If you're busy, I totally get it. But just let me know what time you think. Yeah, if you are available tomorrow, though, just let me know. It's like give me a heads up, and I could always get you on. All I have to do is just go on StreamYard tomorrow and during the evening time. Like during the late evening, I should say, like the time right now. But yeah, also I'm pretty tired at the moment. I don't even plan on being on that much longer for the rest of the night. I am a tired boy right now. But it's good to hear that you got the new place set up, man. No, it is good to hear that you got everything all squared away, man. St. Pinor is saying his butt hurts. Just kidding, it feels normal. It's funny. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so tired. Well, I guess I know why I'm tired. It's been a long day. Been one of those days where I'm just like, ugh. So Tim Smith is saying everything is good except the ugly curtains my new place had when I moved. I'm ordering vintage curtains on Amazon right now. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. What a beast. Dude, fuck yeah. Dude, what a salve. Yeah, all the war shit is depressing. I'll admit that. Mr. Orwell, the Resident, I agree. I agree with that wholeheartedly, man. It's tough. I'm not a fan of it at all. I mean, like, I understand it's necessary. I understand why this war is necessary. I just want it to be over with as quickly as possible. Oh, I wish I wasn't so tired. Oh shit!
Did you see the voter
the gal that does the lefties losing it thing did a thing with Pat Bet David on his podcast. Let's take a listen.
CNN did.
I'm curious about this.
You have that, Rob? CNN did a video, Harry Anton, talking about how Americans feel. I send it to you to my notes if you want to go to it, Rob.
I've seen that, and you know what? It is overwhelming, even amongst the population that we're told is going to be disadvantaged. I think it was over 70% of African Americans or blacks who wanted voter ID. And it's a massive percentage of Democrats wanted. I think overall it's over 80% of the population wants it. I mean, my God, how much more? Oh, here we go, 71.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with voter ID, dude. I don't even know why it has to be an argument. It should make perfect sense to me, man. Tim Smith says I should react to Conan O'Brien playing old Atari games. I might just do that. I don't know. Sounds hilarious. Oh, man, I love Conan, dude. Conan's the man.
1% of Democrats, 95% of Republicans.
Play the clip, Rob.
It's the racial breakdown on this, right? Because I think a lot of people make the argument that people of color, non-white Americans, have a harder time procuring a photo ID to vote. But even here, take a look here. Favorite photo ID to vote. 85% of white people favorite. 82% of Latino. 76% of black Americans favorite.
Yeah, so I thought there would be more of... That's crazy.
So the bottom line is this. Voter ID is
a popular concept.
Not controversial in this country. A photo ID to vote is not controversial in this country. It is not controversial by party, and it is not controversial by race. The vast majority of Americans agree with Nicki Minaj that, in fact, you should have a photo ID to be able
Nikki.
to vote.
Vast majority.
I love how Nikki's now our chief political analyst. No, she is. And you know what?
Yeah, Nicki Minaj is not woke, dude. She is not on the side of woke, I'll tell you that. Yeah. Type in Conan O'Brien Atari. Okay, you know what? I'll do that. Let's see. Conan O'Brien Atari. Okay, let's take this look.
Hey, Conan O'Brien here with a vintage edition of Clueless Gamer, and I'm here with my pal, Aaron Blair.
Hello.
We've pretty much played many of the cutting-edge modern games.
Absolutely.
And I'm routinely am terrible.
That's true.
And contemptuous of the medium, and we are going to look at some of the classic Atari video games. Is that right?
It's going to be pretty good, actually. It looks pretty good.
That's right. We're doing kind of a throwback episode, and we're going to see how it all started. The Atari 2600 is kind of the grandfather of all video games.
I thought this was a grill, a George Foreman grill. I'm glad you told me, because I was just about to put 2 hamburger patties.
Ah, God, I love the old Atari, man. That's bringing back a little bit of nostalgia right there. That was a hell of a video game console, man. I love the Atari.
And start grilling. Now, quickly show me the video game controllers that we've been using.
Yeah.
All the games I've reviewed, pretty much,
yes,
have been with this incredibly sophisticated control system. But let's step back in time. Look at this.
Yeah.
This looks like the defibrillator they used on Elvis. Checking out.
We're going to play a lot of games today, but the game that came with the Atari 2600 was called Combat.
It came with a booklet. This smells like the mid-70s. Smells like Stevie Nicks.
So just shove it in there.
Okay.
And then flip on the power. Boom. All right, so you're just going to try to kill me. You're the blue tank.
I'm the blue tank.
Yep.
You can barely tell that's a tank. It looks vaguely sexual. When people played this for the first time, they thought this was the most amazing thing that ever happened, right?
Yes, exactly. Their minds were blown.
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. When I was a kid and I first played like a Nintendo and an Atari, I really thought the games were too fucking cool. I thought they were amazing. I thought it was cutting edge to me. I thought it was fucking dope. I remember playing the NES as a kid and thought, damn, dude, this is amazing. This is amazing.
There's nothing here that's remotely tank-like. All right, I now know why everyone was high back then. It's the only way to make these games exciting. This is dreadful. Let's put it on watch paint dry. All right, now we're going to look at Missile Command, another Atari game that promises much more than it can deliver with the cover art. Aliens from the planet...
I will admit the cover art for a lot of Atari games was pretty epic. The cover art for Atari games was out of this world, dude. Amazing. Unbelievable.
Of Crystal had begun an attack on the planet Zardon. The Krytolians had begun fight. It's so sad that someone had to write this. And you know what? We know we're about to see 3 blips. They prepared me for, oh, there we go, yeah? Those are Zardonians and Krytolians, all right. What do I do?
So you move the dash around. Yeah, so the colored circles knock out the blips.
Okay, while you were explaining it to me, I lost my city. But you know what? This city looks like shit, so I don't care. At the time, what's really scary is this was about the sophistication of the computer that controlled all our nuclear missiles. The Russians probably saw these games and thought, we should attack now. These are dreadful, absolutely dreadful, but we're moving on to golf. There's a nice depiction.
Hell yeah, dude. Now this is where it was at. This is the game that got me into... Okay, I'm lying. It never got me into golf. Well, let's keep going.
Of what I think is Senator
This is amazing,
Kennedy.
though. Can we give a shout out to Tim? Let's give a shout out to Tim Smith, man. Holy shit, this is amazing. Tim Smith recommended that I look up Conan O'Brien playing Atari games. This might be the greatest thing I've ever watched in my life. Conan is a fucking genius, by the way. And watching him play Atari games, this is amazing. So give a shout out to Tim Smith for recommending that I react to this. This is unbelievable. Oh, you're not missing too much, though, Mr. Ty Lord. You're not missing too much.
See how it's depicted here.
All right, ready?
In this game. Oh, God. Look at that sad little world. What's happening now? Is that a human being? I hope he's holding a golf club, or else he's a perv. Look at his movements, so fluid, so golf-like.
Oh, that is amazing.
What a horrible era for mankind. I can go and look at an old butter churn or a turn of the century car,
totally.
and I can appreciate the beauty of it.
Absolutely.
I can look at a 1950s Bakelite phone, and it still works, and it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
This is awful. This is just America on its knees.
Here we go. River Raid.
River Raid.
Dude, I love the old Atari, dude. The old Atari, unbelievable. Atari 2600, baby. Unbelievable. I love it.
Here we go.
What am I on? What is this? I don't even know what I'm on.
You're plane.
Oh, I'm a plane. And I'm going over a river? When I drift to the side, I shouldn't be smashing into the bank of the river, right?
Right.
So I don't understand where I am in time and space.
I don't know.
Am I in the air?
Yeah,
Where am I?
You're a plane.
Where am I?
Oh, no,
I'm a plane. What is this?
Quit slamming into the side, Conan. What are you doing, bro?
River Raid.
River Raid.
River Raid! This may be the worst day of my life.
So this is actually one of the most popular games that Atari had. It's called Pitfall.
Pitfall.
I love Pitfall, by the way. Pitfall is the greatest Atari game ever. As one of my first Atari games that I ever played was Pitfall. Amazing. Random guy on YouTube says I haven't. Dude, Atari is. Dude, if I still had an Atari, if I still had the old Atari console, I don't know what happened to it. I don't think it exists anymore. But that thing was amazing. I had a lot of fond memories playing those games, man. And yeah, they were not cutting edge at all by any. I mean, for the time they were, but looking back, man, I look at those times with great fondness, dude. I love Pitfall's amazing.
This is the genius behind this game right here. Picture was taken shortly before he snapped and murdered everyone in his condo.
All right, so here we go.
That's me.
Yep.
Oh, whoa.
Boom.
And then, what am I supposed to do there?
Oh, nothing. That's a log. You're supposed to jump up. That's bad.
Going this way.
Okay, do you want to jump on that?
I don't even know what I'm doing. That's the one direction in the whole game is, look at that. That's supposed to help us. What's next?
Space Invaders? Remember Space Invaders?
Space Invaders is amazing.
Game?
Oh, right. I just dodge what they're doing and fire. Is that right?
That's it.
You know what? This is actually an okay game, though, still.
Here we go.
This is a game. And I'm actually playing it, and I know what I'm doing. We found my game. Space Invaders, yes.
Awesome.
Still holds up.
So we had
Yeah, Space Invaders is a classic, but Pitfall, I loved Pitfall. That was a hell of a game.
a poll online
Yeah.
where fans could choose what game they wanted to see you play.
You know, they made a Pitfall game for PS1, and it was actually pretty good. I played the demo. No, did I play the demo? I can't remember if I played it at a friend's house or I played the demo. I think it was one or the other. But it was amazing. Unbelievable.
Okay.
They chose this.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Oh, no.
E.T., it's widely regarded as the worst video game of all time.
Yep, the worst game of all time. I can't believe he has a copy of it. Because a lot of people threw that game away. Ah, it's so crazy.
Worse than the golf?
Way worse.
Really? Uh-oh. E.T.?
Yeah. Okay, so...
E.T. is coming down in an elevator.
Yeah.
The elevator's just left him in a swamp. Where am I going? He's just pacing nervously. And who's that guy?
I think he's the FBI agent. Don't let him touch you.
If you see a man in a trench coat, never let him touch you.
That is a piece of your telephone. The whole point of this game is to collect 3 pieces of your telephone, then call your spaceship, and it comes back to rescue you. Okay, now go up. Now you're flying.
Oh, when his neck extends, he's flying. Okay,
now you fell in another hole.
Yeah, so I got another piece of my telephone.
Yeah, well, that's a flower, so you hit the thing and the flower will go up. There you go, you made the flower go up.
What? Why would I make the flower go? What's the point of that?
I think it was in the movie.
I don't think...
I don't remember. All right, you fell in another hole. You just got to do the neck thing and get out.
So there's a lot of just falling in a hole and then extending my neck and floating out.
That's basically the whole game.
This just simulates the cycles of depression. The sound effects are fantastic. Listen.
This is amazing. This might be the greatest review of the game E.T. of all time. I never actually got to play the E.T. game. I heard it was terrible. One of these days, I may try to emulate the game on like an Atari emulator. I'm not sure. But damn. Freaking amazing. Amazing. Duh, winning. This is awesome.
This is the one the fans wanted me to play?
Yeah.
Thank you, fans. Thanks for having me experience that.
Oh, the fans were trolling him, dude. The fans were trolling him hard.
Fans asked me to play E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Let me rate it. If Flock of Seagulls is good and Duran Duran is bad, I'm going to give this a Men at Work. Figure it out. I did like Space Invaders. It was a fun game for me to play. It took me back to a time when I was about to lose my virginity. It was a thrilling experience for me.
Yeah.
This means a lot to me. Let's never do this again. No.
That was amazing. That was truly amazing. Conan O'Brien playing the Atari is pretty amazing. I gotta give him props.
For 30 years, there's been this legend that Atari buried millions of unsold copies of its infamous video game flop, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, in the New Mexico.
Tim Smith had Gremlins on Atari is pretty good. Yeah, there were a lot of games I I needed to play for sure.
Mexico desert. It was such a flop that apparently instead of just destroying them, they buried them in the desert of New Mexico. This was a big rumor among gaming people for a long time. A crew dug up the buried E.T. video game cartridges. Yes, yeah. You'd think just throw them out. They were so ashamed of this game. Atari drove them by the truckload into the desert and buried them.
That's pretty impressive, man.
Well, now they've been dug up, and here's the crazy part. They kept digging. Turns out Atari buried other terrible video games that were based on movies. Yeah, audience hearing the premise, yeah. There were other terrible video games based on movies. For example, Rocky III. They found the Rocky III game, which really isn't good. Yeah. There's Being John Malkovich. That's just not a good... That's really not a good... There's Woody Allen's Hannah and Her Sisters. Yeah. And finally, I expected more from Fight Club. I really did. I thought Fight
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes.
would be a better game, but apparently...
That's hilarious. That's too fucking good, dude. Too good. Amazing. There are thousands of copies buried in the backyard. Oh, man. Conan playing WWE for, I think, place. Okay, let me see here. Conan O'Brien. Let's see here. It's probably this one right here. Conan reviews WWE 2K14.
Hello, Conan O'Brien here with another clueless gamer.
This is exciting, though, dude. This is exciting.
Today, we're going to be playing WWE's 2K14. Joining me once
Is it this one? I'm assuming it's the one that I'm watching right now, right?
again is Aaron Blair.
Hello.
Fired from the show 2 years ago, still hangs around. What's up?
WWE 2K14 just came out. Very exciting. We've never done a wrestling fighting game.
No, we haven't. I don't remember doing this.
I'm very excited.
Is that playing the national anthem?
Yes.
Get up. Your generation. You were going to sit there through the national anthem? Side beside low, and the thing that was gleaming.
So now you can pick your guys. They have all the wrestlers there.
Triple H. Okay. I've met a lot of these guys. I've interviewed them over the years. Titus O'Neil. This looks like Louis C.K. crossed with Bart Simpson. Sheamus. I've met Sheamus.
Sheamus, baby.
Yeah, I've been on the show. Yeah. I'm going to be Sheamus because he's Irish like me, and I love that he's made no attempt to get a tan. Can you make this anthem stop? I love my country, but this loop is killing me.
Well, actually, we can't pay for any of the other music in the game.
So we're playing this on a loop because it's the only music we can afford. Perfect.
Amazing. A freaking amazing. This is great, dude.
I could have guessed that by the stool
This is
we're
hilarious.
sitting on and the room where we're shooting. It's the same room where Joe Pesci was shot in Goodfellas. Okay, you're Kane.
All right, so now the cool thing is every wrestler has their own entrance. Yeah, this is me.
Kane! The Monster Kane stalking to the ring with each evil step.
Stalking to the ring with each evil step. That's not great writing. You can't take an evil step. Okay, and is that his lawyer? Who's that guy who's there in the suit? Here comes my guy.
From Dublin, Ireland.
Sheamus.
172 pounds. Sheamus!
Is he wearing women's
Total stud.
bikini bottoms? What is he wearing? He's just been to the dermatologist. He's been cleared. Those are not cancerous. Those are freckles.
The controls are a little complicated. You walk around with this stick,
This is the stick I walk
This
with.
is the stick you walk with. All right. Then you can grapple. You can grab onto me with either A or B.
Okay.
Or red or green.
Yep. You know that I'm going to just randomly hit buttons. We've been doing this for like 2 years, and I just randomly punch buttons.
If you want to reverse them, it's right trigger. If you want
Reverse what?
Reverse an attack.
Oh, I thought you meant take away my decision to review this game. So I'll be hitting that button right now.
You don't get any tougher than this man.
My guy's just going to walk back and forth for a little bit. Look at that. We're just checking each other out. Doesn't it look like he's just gone insane? Look, I look like a person you'd see on the subway who's just gone insane. I'm grabbing at nothing. Look at this.
Yeah, there you go. Nice. Nice.
You know what I just realized? He has the Catholic cross on his ass.
Yeah, good.
That's amazing.
Controlling the waist.
Heimlich. I just saw that you had chicken.
Oh, nice. These are pretty advanced moves.
You know why? Because I'm just punching things at random.
Oh,
my favorite moves.
And then...
No, just hit buttons. Just hit buttons.
Right, I am. What am I supposed to...
I mean, quickly. Yeah, there. That's good.
What am I doing here? We're having an orgasm. Look at that. Oh, you're dead. You dead?
Yeah, I reached the breaking point. You won me by submission.
That was erotic. Did you notice it looked like... Look at that.
That's pretty hot, actually. That's very hot.
Let's get more. Oh. One of the great things about this game is you can design your own character. I've been hard at work at mine, and that's me.
Oh my God.
The legs, the muscles of the legs is about right. The absence of an
Too sexy.
ass. The corpse-like skin color is correct. And look at the look of just absolute existential despair. That's me. I'm ready to go.
All right, let's do it.
Why don't you be the Rock?
All right.
Okay, look, I love the Rock's expression.
Conan creating his own custom character. That's fucking peak, dude. That's peak.
Is sort of, what are you going to do about it? Mine is, why are we on this planet? Why are we on this?
Let's up the ante bit. We're going to play Inferno match.
What's Inferno match?
Inferno is there's fire involved, and you have to roll the guy into the fire.
Okay.
From Miami, Florida, weighing 260 pounds, The Rock.
Now, The Rock says, like, do you smell what The Rock is cooking? What would your guy say?
Do you smell that? That's my pants, I'm afraid. Okay, here I come.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
From Boston, Massachusetts.
Yes! Wait a minute.
Unreal, dude. Unreal. Straight up, dude.
God. That's humiliating. What an asshole. Oh, I'm surprised I'm not shot right now. Look, The Rock looks pretty scared.
Boom. Okay. Fire time.
Ah! Oh! My God. Looks Roxy! Oh!
Oh my God, Conan O'Brien's kicking The Rock's ass,
102 pounds of me. I love how realistic this game is, because I would kick the crap out of The Rock.
This is crazy. Oh my God, no.
Yeah, roll him! Roll him!
Oh, there we go.
Wait a minute, how did he not get burned? He must have some kind of Samoan oil.
Yeah!
Oh!
Really good.
Sleep well, Rock. Now I roll you. Enjoy
This is
the
amazing.
flames.
Unbelievable.
Oh, this is the most inelegant way to kill someone, to roll them into fire. Enjoy the fiery flames as I roll you.
Oh, no!
Conan's dominating The Rock. I never thought I'd see the day, but Conan O'Brien is dominating The Rock in a video game. His custom character's kicking ass, dude. Hey, if you guys can, though, please subscribe to the channel. The more subscribers we get, the better. We're currently sitting at 8,753 subs. Once again, we're at 8,753. We can't do it without you guys, so please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 10K. We're seeing what we could do. Trying to get to that 10K. Trying not to be too gay.
Oh,
Yes! Yes! He's been set on fire! Yep, that's me after every show.
So how would you review this game?
Okay, WWE's 2K14. I thought the graphics were very good.
Yeah.
I think this is a really terrific game if and only if you can get the Conan. It's a great fighter.
Yeah, amazing.
And you look at that face and you really want to beat the crap out of him.
Amazing, though. Amazing.
It's very satisfying. Okay, here's my review. If a bad game was worth this, and if a good game was worth this, I would give this game which is pretty good.
That was pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot, dude. Check out Conan Investigates Pierre Bernard's Creepy Doll Collection. All right. This might be my last review of the night, though, you guys. This may be my last review of the night. Conan Investigates Pierre Bernard. Investigates. Hold on, let's see. Conan Investigates. Oh, here we go.
Recently, this is very true, 100% true, something was brought to my attention involving one of our show's graphic designers, Pierre Bernard. There he is right there, yeah. That's him, yeah. And apparently, absolutely true, I was told Pierre has some items in his work area, the graphic design office, that are frankly creeping people out.
I love it, dude.
I heard about it. I went around, I asked a couple people, they all said, no, it's absolutely true, it's creeping people out, so I took a camera crew along to investigate. Here's what happened. Pierre?
Hi, Conan.
Good to see you. This is Pierre Bernard.
Hi.
Pierre, you've been charged with having odd objects in your workspace. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Do you think you are a normal fellow?
Very normal.
Do you draw naked women on the weekends?
Yes.
Oh, God, this is amazing. I'm already in love with this sketch.
You go to Comic-Con and try to date much younger women dressed as super heroines.
Occasionally.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Is this your workspace right here?
This guy's the man. This guy is straight up the man.
All right. What's this woman's?
Black Canary.
Do you find her erotic?
She's one of my favorites, yes.
Why don't you show me the one that you
My
find?
favorite, the Brazilian girl. Fire.
You're most attracted to this doll that's on your desk.
Yes.
Are you ever alone with this doll?
This feels like a Chris Hansen. Oh my God, this feels like a straight up like Chris Hansen interrogation. Oh my God.
No.
Oh, this is amazing.
No, never alone with it.
You tell me specifically, what about her anatomy appeals to you?
I just like the costume.
I don't see much of a costume.
That's what I like.
How many other sets of these do you have?
Several.
You have more of these. These are just the tip of the iceberg.
I have more just in case damage occurs or they go missing.
Oh my God. I don't even want to know what he's referring to when he says damage, but oh man, let's this is great. No, what happened? Hold on. Give me a second. I gotta go backwards.
Recently, this is
okay. Hold on.
Here?
Yes. Yes.
Why don't you show me the one that you
My
find desk?
Yes.
No. You're not?
No. Never alone with it.
You tell me specifically, what about her anatomy appeals to you?
I just like the costume.
I don't see much of a costume.
That's what I like.
How many other sets of these do you have?
Several.
You have more of these. These are just the tip of the iceberg.
I have more just in case damage occurs or they go missing.
God, this is so funny.
There are duplicates, yes.
So if one of them became damaged while you were doing something to it, you have more in storage?
Yes, I do have more in storage.
Okay.
Of her, maybe three more, maybe.
You have three more? Is that enough? Because what if...
Well, they come 3 to a pack, and they're random. So
you have many of these?
Many.
Okay, because if anything happened to this one, God forbid.
Right, God forbid.
Okay.
But nothing's going to happen to her.
As long as you're around. You'll take good care of her, won't you?
I will.
Okay. You nervous?
No.
You seem... Can I use the word insane? Does it anger you when I do this to her?
No.
This isn't making you mad right now?
Not making me angry at all.
Okay. Oh, she's whispering something in my ear. Does this make you a little jealous?
Nope.
She's
free to talk to whoever she wants.
This is so good. E.T. says, Garza, we appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you too, E.T. You're the man, bro. This is amazing.
Is that anger? What did you really feel there?
Nothing. She probably told you a joke she's told me 1,000,000 times.
Oh my God. Oh, this is too good, dude.
You do this over here? Describe what's happening here.
Basically, this is the future, and it's a world where us men are reduced to 5-inch tall people, and robots work in the workspace in replacement of men.
Okay. I can't help but noticing she has a healthy hair.
That was the idea, that healthy women can be in a workspace and not be harassed anymore.
So that's part of your socially responsible message?
Yes.
That this woman has breasts that seem to be straining the buttons. Why wouldn't she buy
Well, if you look even closer, you'll notice one is over her arm. It's so big.
Is this woman wearing a bra? In your imagination?
I'm not sure. Yes, she is, because there's no nipples.
Are these the largest breasts that you've ever drawn?
No, I've drawn larger.
You've drawn larger?
Yes. I've had a girl who's a dancer who posed for me, and yes, a lot bigger.
Is she still alive?
Yes, she's still alive and dancing.
Would you tell me right now if you did something to her?
No, not on camera. But I did.
Oh my God. This is so sus. I love this, man. Oh, I love this.
Nothing to her.
Okay. You let her go.
Yes, she went home.
Okay. She probably got away while you were talking to your dolls. So Pierre, you don't think that other female employees would be uncomfortable at all with this?
None of them actually come in here.
Okay. Do you think there's a reason why no women will come in here?
This is so great. Dude, this is fucking comedy gold right here, man. This is comedy fucking gold.
No idea.
I wonder what it could be. I wonder what it could be. You go on Craigslist a lot, don't you?
Occasionally, there's something worthwhile looking at. I should explain to you why this particular item.
It says female mannequin. This is a naked woman. Very realistic.
I wanted to see if this person had other mannequins, because there's one in particular that I'm looking for. I saw it in New York. It's of a woman's torso down to her legs, and it's very voluptuous butt on it, and the top is cut off flat, and I thought it would make a nice lamp. So I wanted to buy it.
Oh my God, this is amazing. This is levels of amazing that I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I think I'm speechless. Unbelievable.
Take them to an electrician and have them run the wires through it, and they could be nice end tables.
Okay, you're fired. You're fired. I'm gonna take. You're fired. You no longer work here, and you're going to the hospital. When do you say that's too much? Those breasts are too big. That butt's too voluptuous. If a woman needed 2 golf carts to drive her breasts in front of her as she walked.
I would say that's way too big.
Right, but you'd want to take her out for coffee.
Yes.
Oh man, dude, this is no Conan O'Brien's. Conan O'Brien is underrated in my opinion, dude. The guy's a comedic genius. Conan O'Brien's a comedic genius.
I'm with you to check this out. Okay,
Okay.
is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Hi, are you Mike? Yeah, Mike. Hey, Mike. I'm Conan O'Brien, and this is Pierre.
I'm the guy who called you about the mannequin.
Oh, okay. Hey, Mike, do you have anything with bigger breasts than this? Is this okay, or what size breast do you think this is?
They look like bees,
Okay.
which is okay. Not to mention, it almost looks like someone's been handling them too. There's hand prints or something on there.
What do you mean handling them?
There's some marks under the breast.
Oh, okay. Let me open another one.
Let me see.
I said this one looks cleaner.
This one's cleaner? What do you mean? No one's handled this one?
Right. That one has a bunch of stains.
You don't want to be with one that's been with someone else. You want a clean one.
Well, yes.
This is so crazy, dude. This is so crazy. I love this. I did not expect this skit to be this funny, dude. This is. I'm stunned. Just stunned.
Yeah, that's called a face of a woman. That's where they think and talk like that. But don't worry about it. I think you're crazy not to get these.
They're going to go into storage at this
Why
point.
does everything go into storage?
Because I don't have room.
Wait, you don't even have room for what we're looking for? You keep buying all this shit, and you're never going to have the money to buy a bigger apartment. Why don't you buy the bigger apartment, and then you can fill it with all kinds of butts
Well,
and
I want to
boobs.
buy a house, not an apartment.
What I'm saying still holds. We'll take all the mannequins.
Okay.
Hey, you made this perv very, very happy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, congratulations on fulfilling your sick needs.
Pierre Bernard and his creepy mannequin lamps.
Amazing, dude. Pierre Bernard, dude. My hero. My fucking hero, dude. Oh my god, this guy's amazing. Okay, you guys, I am actually a little bit tired though. As much as I want to watch more Conan stuff, I'm a tired boy right now. So I do want to thank you guys for taking the time to view the live stream tonight. I gotta get to bed. I drink some water, get to bed, and but yeah, make sure you guys, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, don't forget to tap the subscribe button. It does help the channel grow in more ways than one. It helps me feel like I got a bigger dong than I actually do. Random player says night night ooh woo. Have a good night, random player. Have a good night, Mr. Tim Smith. ET. Have a good night, Brony Bro. But yeah, to Tim Smith, good night, man. Dude, thanks for showing me those Conan O'Brien clips, man. Those are fucking tight. We got my boy Ty Lord on tonight. I love you, Ty Lord. Thank you for coming on, man. My boy Nate Dogg was on for a little bit earlier. Fucking dope. But yeah, I gotta get some sleep. But I'm gonna end the stream, and so before I end the stream, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button. It really does help the channel grow. But I'm going to end the stream in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ending the stream right now. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed yet, please tap the subscribe button. Have a good night, you guys.